Find out more or start an application today at ctpaidleave.org. That's ctpaidleave.org.
This fall, you've got homework, but no matter what it is, whether you're going to do it or get it done for you, the greatest collection of home products, pros, demos, and deals is back in the Connecticut Convention Center November 2nd and 3rd. It's the Fall Home Show presented by Xfinity. And not only are you going to save a ton of time and money on your fall fix-ups, you could win your choice of a brand new generator or EV charging station from Newington Electric. Sponsoring the show along with Channel 3. Find out more and register for that grand prize at jenksproductions.com.
Hi, Tom Shattuck here.
1 minute.
Veterans Month, a time to celebrate and honor the heroes who have served our country. This November, Awaken 180 Weight Loss is showing their appreciation for active duty, veterans, and spouses by offering 15% off your entire Awaken 180 program. Free support for life included. It's a thank you for the sacrifices you've made, protecting our freedoms and making this country what it is. This is special. Awaken 180 has never offered a discount, ever. If this incentive can help turn your focus on you, your health, your goals, and your happiness, I say go for it. Do what I did and choose the solution for weight loss. So if you're active duty, a veteran, or a spouse of one, this month is about you. Celebrate veterans with 15% off your Awaken 180 program. And as with all clients, receive free support for life after reaching your goal. Do what I did, and dozens of other radio guys I know did, who've lost a ton of weight.
Here we go.
Michael B. Over 23,000 other people have done it too. Take control at awaken180weightloss.com.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
The opening act, grabbing headlines for all the wrong reasons. A comedian who offered unfunny, racist, cringeworthy jokes.
Basically calling Puerto Ricans trash.
The most repulsive racial jokes about Latinos.
Disgusting and hateful.
So incredibly crude.
Frankly, just too X-rated to play here.
Extremely vile so-called jokes.
Now, obviously, in retrospect, having a roast comedian come to a political rally a week before Election Day and roasting a key voting demographic, probably not the best decision by the campaign politically. But to be fair, the guy's really just doing what he does. I mean, bringing him to a rally and have him not do roast jokes, that'd be like bringing Beyonce to a rally and not have... Oh.
Yeah. I told you. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. On this, gosh, what is today's date? Is it the 29th? October 29, 2024. It's almost Halloween. All you grown folks who are going to be wearing your costumes, come on, give me a call. Let me know what you're going as. Don't be shy. I know you think I'm going to chide you for wearing a costume because you're a grown person. I get it. If you're going out with your daughter, I'm being told I'm wearing a costume this year, Reese, because I'm taking my daughter out and they want me to dress this way. Now, that's fine. I don't want to talk about you. If you're a dad and you're going to dress up with your kids, that's permissible. I'm not going to sit up here and start cracking on you, but I'm talking about grown folks with no kids. Still trying to live their youth. You're the ones. If you're dressing up, come on, call me and tell me what you're going as. I'll play along. I won't get mad at you. It's all right. I promise you, I'm going to be a good guy today. I just want to give props to everyone who has been sending me notes and messages about your newfound love for candy corn. Oh, baby. Don't know where it came from. I just want to say that I'm very, very proud of all of you. Now, as promised, folks, I told you that today's opening monologue was going to be about immigration. Rarely do I tell people the day before what the opening monologue is going to be about. but I had to tell you this time because that's one of the big things going on right now. There is this fear. There is this conversation that's happening out in the open about the deportation of millions of people. And the news media is trying to find every angle to say that this is a bad idea. Remember, building the wall was, it's going to cost billions. Now deportation, it's going to cost billions. Not paying attention to the human toll on the amount of people who have come into this country. Over 10 million, they tell us, but we don't know about the gotaways, which we know is probably far exceeding the tens of millions. It's probably 20 million at this point. Who knows? But they won't tell you that, so they'll tell you a whole bunch of other nonsense. And they'll even go so far as to lie. And I thought, perhaps we should give some sort of example of this that we can understand. So let me ask you folks, if you're someplace where you can record this, or if you know someone who knows someone in political office, works in City Hall. Maybe your friend works for one of the legislatures. Get in touch with them. Send them a quick text and go, hey, listen, do me a favor. Just check out Reese on the Radio for 2 minutes right now. I just want you to listen to this because as far as I'm concerned, this should be a campaign commercial. Get Corey on the line. Let's get Corey and have him and everybody else listen to this. I put this together for you, Connecticut, and I think this sums up the leadership in this state when it comes to illegal immigration in this country. Chris Murphy, this goes out to you, my friend. Reese, to you.
Immigrants commit crimes in this country at a rate lower than natural-born citizens.
We are learning new information tonight about the Forest Park rape suspect. It turns out he has been removed from the country more times than previously thought.
You may not believe that if you watch Fox News every night, but I hate to tell you, it is the truth.
An asylum seeker from the Democratic Republic of Congo was arrested yesterday for allegedly sexually assaulting an employee inside a local hotel.
So if you want a safe town or a safe neighborhood, you're better off. You are statistically safer if you have immigrants.
All right, well, for the second time in less than a week, a person seeking asylum living in Western New York faces a sexual assault charge.
Because they commit crimes of violence at a rate lower than people who are born in the United States.
This morning, a suspect is under arrest in the slaying of Texas high school cheerleader Lisbeth Medina. The suspect, identified as Rafael Govea Romero, who police say is undocumented.
Immigrants commit crimes in this country at a rate lower than natural-born citizens.
In New York, a 15-year-old is under arrest after allegedly shooting a tourist in a store in Times Square and firing at police.
You may not believe that if you watch Fox News every night, but I hate to tell you, it is the truth.
Louisiana police saying this, a 19-year-old man from Honduras is accused of raping a 14-year-old girl and committing an armed robbery.
So if you want a safe town or a safe neighborhood, you're better off. You are statistically safer if you have immigrants.
Tonight, a migrant has been charged with raping a 15-year-old disabled girl.
Now to Michigan, where an undocumented migrant is charged in the carjacking and also murder of a Michigan woman.
Because they commit crimes of violence at a rate lower than people who are born in the United States.
You still believe them? Come on, Democrats, you still believe them? I spliced that together, and that only worked up. By the way, I spliced that together in 5 minutes. That clip is 2 minutes long. splicing Chris Murphy's comments twice. Every one of those crimes you heard, none of them repeated each other. There was a different one. But here's the crazy part. The supercut of all of those crimes is a staggering, news reports, staggering 13 minutes long. 13 minutes long, starting from April of 2023 until April of 2024. In a calendar year, those news bites were nothing more than 20 seconds long. And they mustered up 13 minutes of crimes within a calendar year. Chris Murphy is 100% wrong. He knows he's wrong. This administration knows that they're wrong. The reason why they had to backtrack on now all of a sudden the wall is a good idea. They want to keep the people who are already here and then build the wall saying, oh, now the wall's going to keep everybody here and keep the others out. All of that is nonsense. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone thinks on the left. They have to go. You want to talk about what's something humanitarian here? How about the humanity of the people who have been assaulted in this country? People who have been robbed, women who have been dragged by their purses, by illegals on mopeds. Attacked, stabbed. What about the police officers who have been attacked by migrants? What about the people who are living in apartments that are now overrun by Tren de Aragua? How about we have some human compassion for the most vulnerable people who did get here legally, who are now being overrun by these gangs? How about that? How about having some compassion or some humanitarianism or humanitarian relief for actual citizens? How about just regular citizens being treated more important than people who have never been here before? How about it? How about you not lecture us about everyone else in this country who's getting a free ride while the rest of us suffer? Fight tooth and nail just to get by, to pay our bills, to keep the mortgage payments up, to get our rent paid, to pay our car notes. So we don't have to see story after story about illegals coming in and getting tens of thousands of dollars just dropped into their EBT or other ATM cards. How about you not create this animosity between the American citizens and illegals that will only lead to more dangerous encounters with them? Trust me, it will. It's not about being envious or being spiteful. It's about feeling ignored, discarded, disrespected. How about you make Americans feel like they did the right thing, that they're doing the right thing? They continue, Chris Murphy, to elect you. They continue to vote you into office. To know that you would go on in Washington and speak on the Senate floor and tell them that it is safer for them to bring in illegals than to trust their own neighbors is a slap in the face. You don't care about how many of those people get evicted from their homes. The only thing you care about is whether or not that landlord who's kicked out the American puts housing up for an illegal so you can feel better about yourself and pat yourself on the back. And I love the people who support Chris Murphy. I love the people who support immigrants. They're fantastic. They are great people. They're so much more morally superior than the rest of us. Until, of course, it happens to them. But don't worry, it'll never happen to them. It'll just happen to you. They don't know you, they've never seen you, and they don't care. That's the part that makes me laugh. They don't care. The only person they care about is a bunch of strangers. You, they hate. Strangers they know nothing about. I remember this discussion. This discussion drove me crazy because I wanted nothing more than to take my hands and shake this guy. But he turned around and said, "You're making this argument like everyone who crosses that border is a criminal." And I looked him right in his face and I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Well, you treat them all like they're bad people, like they're all criminals." And I said, "No one even said anything about them being criminals. But since we're going there, are they illegally crossing the border?" Yes, they are. That by its nature makes you criminal because it is illegal to cross. Therefore, crime, criminal. But on second thought, let's go another step further. What makes you think they're all good? Because they're Mexican, Guatemalan, Ecuadorian, Salvadorian? Do you think that because they come from one of these countries, they are inherently good? Just because they happen to be from a third world country, it means they are the noblest of them all? They're not American, so they just must be on the best behavior possible. You can blanket statement that they're all pure of heart. You can just make that statement? You're comfortable with that? Well, I didn't say all that. Then what are you saying? You vetted none of them. You know none of them. You just know that they are crossing that border illegally, and you want to help them all. And they're all good in your view because then it justifies your stupidity. I hope that Tom Homan gets back in a position to deport all of them. I hope that every one of them who got into this country illegally, that this country paid for at the expense of taxpayers who can't pay their bills, who are struggling to get by, that they round every one of them up and they send them back to wherever they came from. Now, if that is controversial, I want every one of you to look at Mexico's immigration laws. I want you to look at any other foreign country's immigration laws and then make an argument about how strict and how horrible ours are. Mexico alone, go check out their immigration law. If you think that it's controversial to say that people who got here illegally, that this government funded to come in here and to take the place of other people, take the jobs of other individuals who have struggled, if you think that's controversial, get at me. That telephone line is wide open. Make an argument for him if you want. I am here. I am standing on both my feet, and I can't wait to have that debate with some moron. Now, I know this struggle firsthand. If you must know, full disclosure, my sister-in-law came into this country in the trunk of a car when she was 16 years old. My brother was afraid to introduce her to me. She told me her story. She told me what she went through to get here, and I understand this story way better than anyone else. But I made it clear to my brother and to my now sister-in-law, get legal or go home. I'm sure that my brother at the time loved the hell out of her, and that's fantastic. But I don't compromise my principles because my little brother's in love with a girl. They've got to go home, and I'm beyond feeling bad about people who have to. way beyond it. But like I said, phone lines are open, 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. Or you can hit me up at reasoontheradio.com if you don't want to get on the phone and embarrass yourself. We'll take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views. It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
I'm elder law attorney Haley Allaire. Our greatest reward is happy clients telling us that they're very thankful for our help.
Hi, I'm Mark, and my family's from Bristol. Allaire Elder Law met my #1 goal when I decided to work with them, to make sure my parents and their assets were protected legally so they can enjoy the rest of their time together and not worry about becoming one of the Title 19 horror stories. And our family cannot thank them enough.
Find out more at AllaireElderLaw.com. That's ALLAIRE.
You love your city, but let's be honest, the commute, not so much. That's where the free Odyssey app can help. Download the app and follow your local news station so you can get the latest traffic reports or find if your train is on time before you walk out your door. Knowing all this gives you time to think about the essential things like, do I have time to get coffee? Download the free Odyssey app and search your local news station. That's AUDACY.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-511-3535. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-511-3535, 800-511-3535, or biglou.com.
And now, a WTIC news update.
55 degrees, 3:30. I'm John Silva. The Newtown community is mourning the loss of an assistant fire chief. Police say Peter Blomberg was struck by a vehicle Monday night as he attempted to cross Route 6 in town. He died at Danbury Hospital. Blomberg's death, the second firefighter death in a week. Last Monday, Wethersfield volunteer firefighter Robert Sharkovich Sr. was laid to rest after he died while battling the Hawthorne brush fire in Berlin. Speaking of which, it's one of about 50 still burning across the state due to the dry conditions. Officials are urging residents to use extreme caution when it comes to cooking outdoors or discarding smoking materials. The state of emergency and burn bans at state parks and forests remain in effect. Naugatuck police have arrested a man after they say they responded to a 911 call Monday night. They arrived at the residence on Pierrock Lane to find 42-year-old Mark Rich and another adult female who had apparently been involved in some type of domestic dispute. While in the home, police say they found various firearms and parts, Rich being held on $500,000 bond. Vice President Harris will make the closing argument for her presidential campaign from the same site where former President Trump addressed his supporters following the riot at the Capitol in 2021. The VP will use her address from the ellipse to pledge to Americans that she'll work to improve their lives. Longtime Trump ally Steve Bannon, now free from prison He was sprung from the Federal Correctional Institution in Danbury today and was serving a 4-month sentence for defying a subpoena in the congressional investigation into January 6th. According to the State Department of Transportation, the Mixmaster Rehab Project along Route 8 and I-84 in Waterbury will be complete by Thursday. Work on that $223 million project began several years ago, expected to lengthen the lifespan by 25 years. WTIC News Time is 3:32. Here's Jason Caterino with the forecast.
For the rest of today, we'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine, the high of 59. Then tonight, a brief shower or two this evening. Otherwise, it'll be cloudy with the low down to 52. A warmer day for Wednesday with a mix of clouds and sunshine, the high making a big jump up to 75 with a nice breeze out of the south-southwest. Then Thursday for Halloween, it'll be sunny to partly cloudy, breezy and warm, the high of 79. The southwest winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour throughout the day. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Checking Wall Street, half hour before the close, the Dow's down 79 points, the Nasdaq's up 177. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Life can be unpredictable at times, but you shouldn't have to suffer the consequences of someone else's negligence. If you've been in an accident or work-related injury and it's not your fault, you need a lawyer who knows how to get you the fair and just compensation. At Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott, our team of personal injury lawyers have over 100 years of combined experience. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Call us at 860-CALL-BPS or visit bpslawyers.com. Bruce Newman is responsible for the content of this ad.
Hi, I'm Deb. With my Big Y Rewards, I get points when I shop to redeem for discounts on groceries and fuel.
I'm Jan, Deb's sister. With my Big Y Rewards, I get points when I shop to redeem for discounts on groceries and fuel.
Okay, but I said it first.
It's more than food. It's my Big Y Rewards.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows
Yeah,
pros.
I'll address that, Christopher.
Valid in
It's a
store
great
only.
point you
More terms and
just made.
restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Natural disasters per year. Fires,
Thanks, sir.
hurricanes, tornadoes. And with that, your most important moments recorded on VHS, camcorder tapes, and 8mm
Big
could
Craig.
all be gone in an instant. Cherished moments like your wedding, baby's first steps, family trips to Yellowstone. Lost. Enter Legacy Box. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box protects your irreplaceable memories from the threat of natural disaster by digitally preserving them onto thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud, so they're safe forever. Legacy Box is the safest and easiest way to preserve your past, which is why it's been trusted by over 1 million families. Send Legacy Box your home movies, photos, and film. Their team of trained professionals will do the rest right here in the U.S. For a limited time, offering radio listeners an incredible 50% off. Go to legacybox.com/value and save 50% when you digitize your memories. That's legacybox.com/value.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
And we're back. It's Reese on the Radio. News Talk 1080 WTIC. Let me read this message from, I knew somebody would. If you give up the website, they respond. So Michael W. did respond. I said, hey, listen, if you want to counter it, go on the website if you don't want to call. So we did. Michael W. says, way to cherry pick stories about crimes committed by immigrants. Totally proved nothing. How long do you think the new bites of crimes or new bits of crimes committed by U.S. citizens would be for that same time period? You see, this is exactly where the ridiculousness comes in. I'll explain it to you like you were a 6-year-old, as Denzel Washington famously said in Philadelphia. try this on for size and see if you can get it or you can wrap your head around the idea. I'm a poor man with a girlfriend. I don't have an education. I work a menial job at minimum wage. She works a retail job at minimum wage. Irresponsibly, we have child after child after child. We go on welfare, we go on food stamps, whatever the case may be, while we try to make ends meet. These are our mistakes. These are our choices. These are things that we have to suffer the consequences of because of the poor choices we made. Now, let's say I'm the same guy with the same girl with no children. We both understand that we cannot afford to raise a family on our meager wages. And the government decides we're going to just start dropping off kids at your house and you have to pay for them. You can't say anything about it. In fact, we're going to fly them in from third world countries and we're going to just keep loading them up in your house and you have no say-so. You don't know where they come from. You don't know what they have as far as diseases, mental illness, or whatever, but you have to take them. And guess what? We'll also tell you that having these children is safer than having your own. Would you allow it? No, but the reason why you allow it with the immigrants is because you say to yourself, well, it's not my house. It's not happening in my neighborhood. Or I don't see any problem with it until you do. Now, on a smaller scale, that's how stupid this whole thing is. You're a NIMBY, not in my backyard. You don't see it, you don't have to care. You feel like you're the most righteous person in the world. Why? Because you're caring about the immigrants. And they are now the soup du jour of feeling good about yourself. As others, you probably say the same thing about black people. Those black people, man, they're going through a hard time. I just feel for them. Spare me. I'll just ask you this question. If you think that we should take them in and it's safer to have them, open your door. If you don't think that we're doing what we're supposed to do, right? If you think that it's immoral not to take them, why haven't you put any skin in the game? Huh? It's like when Quagmire says to Brian, I volunteer at the soup kitchen. Never see you down there. Take an immigrant into the house. Someone you've never met. Someone you know nothing about. No background. You should be standing at the border yesterday with your arms wide open saying, come over here, amigo. But you won't. So spare me. 860-522-WTIC. Paul's in Easton. How you doing, Paul?
Hey, how you doing today? Pretty good.
What's up, man?
I wanted to go back to your open monologuing or the
yeah, sure.
What you said could be a political campaign ad. I thought it was great. First of all, second of all, there's this old quote. I believe
I was about to give a good quote. Oh, okay, Paul, you got faded out. Paul, you still there?
Hey, yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. You got faded out just as you were going to give the quote. Say it again.
Oh, so sorry. Yeah, the quote goes, they're lying. We know they're lying. They know we know they're lying. And we know that they know that we know that they're lying. Something along those lines.
Right.
So that to the effect of this is all a demoralization campaign.
Yep.
What they're doing here, I mean, like you said earlier, they don't like their original populace, so now they're bringing in new people to wipe us out. But it's not just the population basis. They're doing a mental assault on you by gaslighting you into thinking that this isn't happening, and then beyond that this is a good thing. Like,
I'll tell you this, Paul. Paul, here is what's going on with them. See, you listen, what they understand about the American resilience, right? What they understand about Americans, right? Americans really do rely on their own God-given talents to make their lives better. Even young inner city kids want to play basketball or become rappers or singers to better themselves. So if you import some people who always believe that their lot in life is picking crops and being subservient, right? If you bring in that people, those people who rely on government, you start them off with on the government teat, they'll never get off of it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that's the whole, what they're incorporating. People say that it's a replacement, the replacement theory. It's not a replacement theory. What they're trying to do is get rid of people who are self-reliant instinctively.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I don't know. I see TikToks. I see, you know, things on the internet of these people going out and flaunting their EBT cards.
Yeah.
And it really just has such a visceral reaction, and it just causes, you know, I'm not one to take a handout necessarily, but you know,
hey man, if you knew they were giving up $13,000 on the EBT card, Paul, if you found out they were giving $13,000 on the EBT card, you're going to tell me that you wouldn't at least say to yourself, maybe. You know what I mean? I think we're all kind of like that.
Shit. I mean, if I have kids, I'm sorry, I'm not FCC.
That's all right.
I apologize. If I have kids and, you know, maybe the government says, you know, everyone who has kids can get, you know, 600, and I know that there's a credit stamp and a tax credit for kids, but, you know, there's got to be you can't just give it out to certain people and just say, screw you, you don't get to, you know, enjoy the fruits of your taxes just because of your skin color or because of where you live or because of how much money you make. You know, if you put into the pot, you theoretically should get out of the pot. And it's just, you know, such like, I could do just as well. If I never put that money into the pot, I could do just as well by investing it myself or by spending it how I see fit. I don't need someone above me saying, here's my VIG, and now I'm giving it to that person.
Exactly.
Because of X, Y, and Z, social justice or equity and inclusion, because they don't have access to it. Like,
yeah, Paul, let me ask you.
No, I mean, I live, you know, Connecticut's a rural state, and there are people who work to make the food. And
Paul, let me cut you off, Paul. Hold on, let me cut you off because Paul, I got to cut you off. Let me get to another call, but before I do, how old of a guy are you, if I may ask?
I'm just about turning 30 now.
My man. Okay, I love it. Hey, listen, the younger the better, man. Listen, there's an old saying that
there's plenty of guys my age who agree too.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of guys don't tune in. My age don't tune in.
There's an old political adage that says if you're 20 and you're not a liberal, you have no heart.
Who are just like totally doomed.
I don't think he can hear me.
The next generation feels the same way.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the call, sir. There's an old adage that said if you're a liberal and you're 20, you don't have a heart, but if you're 40 and you're not a conservative, you don't have a brain. It's nice to see somebody 30 years old with that mindset. Stephen is in Elmwood. How are you doing, Stephen?
Hello.
What do you got for me?
Well, this morning in the program, around 11 o'clock or so, somebody called into the program and stated that if anyone has a driver's license, they could vote.
Yeah.
And that's not true in Connecticut, by the way. I did
maybe in other places.
Well, he said Connecticut.
Okay.
There was a big follow-up call saying, you know, all these illegals are voting in Connecticut. I'm a big Trump supporter, but the fact of the matter is the license given to anyone illegal or someone who's not a citizen, it denotes that they're a citizen or not.
Yeah, but hold on. Now, you're talking about what's called the motor voter rolls, right?
I'm just talking about a damn license you show a poll worker.
No, I understand that, but I think if your debate here is that someone said that all you need is a driver's license and you're automatically on the voter roll, is that what you're...
That's what they said.
Oh, okay. All right, so you're taking issue with something that someone said, and you're trying to clarify it on this show.
I don't want people to start panicking, saying all these illegal.
Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate the public service
announcement. I'm a
announcement.
big Trump supporter, but I agree the law's in place for that.
Hey, remember, laws are made to be broken, my friend. But I appreciate the public service announcement.
No need to be yelling. Come on, goodbye.
What the... What are you doing here? Steven, is that the guy who always calls up here and riffs on me? Is that the guy? Is that him? God bless him. Michael is in Newington. What's going on, Michael?
Hi, Reese. How are you? Thank you for reading my post.
Oh, no problem. Which post was that? Oh, you're
The one
Michael
you just read.
W. Okay,
I'm
you know.
Michael W.
Oh, you're Michael W. Okay, listen, Michael, hold on for me. Listen to me. I'm glad you called. I appreciate that. And I'm glad that you got to hear exactly what my response was. But don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Let me take Mike Lebo, and then I'll take Ken, and I'll come back to you. Mike Lebo's on the phone. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing well, Reese. So I just want to ask you a couple questions, and you can give me your take on this.
Okay.
Now, you can be opposed to immigration, illegal immigration, anything you want, but numbers are numbers, right?
Okay.
And whether you can produce one story from the news or 1,000 stories doesn't change numbers. It's like when they were showing cops shooting black kids on the news, and they can make it seem like it's happening a lot more than it actually is,
right?
Just by reporting it,
right?
So these are facts. Now I can shoot you study.
Let me actually hold on, Lebo. Let me stop you for a quick second. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Let me stop you because I know exactly what it is you're about to do. You're about to statistically wait. You're about to statistically suggest that it's no harm, no foul when it comes to the statistical amount of people who are illegals who are committing crime versus other crimes or people who commit crimes in the country. Let me stop you by saying this. Hold on, Lebo. Let me just stop you by saying this. Let me stop you by saying this, okay?
Yeah.
If the ratio is illegals commit this many crimes and people who are natural citizens in the country commit that many, that is an obvious statistic that we can accept. But here's my problem. It is not an argument for suggesting that we should incorporate or import criminals. It's not an argument for that. What I'm saying to you is, there's
immigrant criminals.
But if you're asking, because the question is always, because that's what Chris Murphy is trying to make in this argument. He's saying statistically, you got a better chance if the illegals next to you, they commit less crimes. My problem is why are we taking the gamble in the first place? Are you telling me that is an argument that says, well, you know what? I can't trust Mr. Murphy next door to me. I got to worry about, Mr. Murphy next to me is more likely to commit a crime than Manuel over here who just moved into the neighborhood, and that should give me some sort of, of solace. What I'm saying to you is that is a ridiculous argument to make. Why? Because what we're doing is playing craps. We're saying, let them all in, let as many in as we want, because statistically they don't commit crimes on the level that Americans do. My problem is I'd rather run the odds with an American citizen than run the odds with people I'm importing that I know nothing about.
Okay, so you agree that illegal immigrants commit crimes at lower rates than American citizens.
But they still commit them, right?
Okay, but all I want to know is if you agree with that.
Oh, no. Agreeing with it has nothing to do with what my issue is. First of all, actually, hold on. I'll stop you. Let me stop you here. You said illegal immigrants commit crimes at a lesser rate than Americans.
Yes.
Do you know how I could defeat that statistic?
I think you can try. But
I can. Guess what? If they crossed the country illegally, 100% of them committed a crime. That is a statistic higher than the crime of Americans in this country.
Well, I think they're talking about commit crimes.
No, I know what you say that they are, but if you came in illegally, that means that 100% of them, 100% of the people who illegally come into this country committed a crime. That puts them at a considerable rate higher than Americans who commit crimes.
Yes, they broke, but that's not what you're arguing.
No, actually it is.
No, it's not.
Actually, yes, it is. I made that point when I first started, Lebo. I immediately started by coming into the country illegally is the crime.
That's a crime against an unconstitutional
Then criminally, if we're going by statistics, which are important, 100% of them commit crimes. That means that it's at a rate higher than those who are Americans.
Okay, let's switch then to just violent crimes and property crimes.
No, absolutely not. Because you're asking me to parse criminality.
Question, Reed. Reese, I'm just wondering if you will admit the fact that I'm not even saying it's an argument for immigration. I'm just saying that once they're here, they commit crimes at lower rates than Americans.
No, I'm not conceding to that ridiculousness because crossing the border illegally is a crime. And I'm not going to, no. It's like saying, look, it's like saying that if I'm losing bubble gum at a candy store versus losing a vacuum cleaner and then saying that I don't count the bubble gum because the vacuum cleaner has more value.
Reese, you can count it and you can use it for your argument. I'm
not using it. It's a fact.
I'm saying, if they're in the country, are they committing less violent and property crimes than American citizens? That's all I'm asking.
Okay, I don't know about property crimes or physical crimes. Here's what I know. They're committing crimes at a higher level than Americans by the nature of them crossing the border illegally.
Yes, they are. And what they're doing there is breaking laws that you, as a constitutionalist, ought not to think there should be.
Okay, again, if you don't, first of all, do we have a way to get into the country legally? Have a million people a year use that apparatus to get into the country legally? Yes, they have.
That doesn't change the unconstitutional nature of the laws.
Then change it. If it's unconstitutional, Lebo, if it's unconstitutional, what they're doing, why haven't they been able to use it? All right, I got to take a break. Let me just move on. I'll go to more of this later because I got other calls and I want Michael W. when we get back. We got to take a break. More news, more views. I didn't even see the time. Thank you, Roland. I'm sorry. I went nuts here. We'll be back. More news, more views. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
We hear a lot from our patients after we've successfully treated their erectile dysfunction. But one thing we hear the most is, why didn't I get treated sooner? This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. And if you're suffering with ED and all the emotional and relationship problems it causes, don't wait. Call us today. ED is simply a medical condition like any other. And for most men, it's fully treatable, which means you can get your sex life back. And I'm not talking about sex that's just okay, by the way. I'm talking great sex, with the ability to enjoy intimacy without the anxiety that affects so many men who have ED. In fact, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. In Northeast Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've treated thousands of men with protocols that are successful in well over 90% of cases. And we have a variety of treatments and treatment combinations so you get the one that's right for you. So stop waiting and call us. Your first visit includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Attention. 1 minute.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 860-981-0063 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 860-981-0063. That's 860-981-0063 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 860
and 10 coming straight in.
860-981-0063 or go to freedomcare.com.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
It's Reese on the Radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
I hear these people all the time make this argument about, separating the crimes. right? It's like you have to separate the crime. Let's ignore the fact that they got in here illegally, right? That's no longer a crime. Let's eliminate that because the most important thing is whether or not it's property damage or whether or not it's assault or any other crimes. Those things are more important. Most people just come in. Just ignore that little crime. You know, you wouldn't get away with that any other place in the world. Imagine breaking into a car dealership, but never stealing a car. Would you be held, like, would you go to jail for trespassing? Absolutely. If you broke into a department store but didn't take anything and you were found inside the department store, would you go to jail? Would it end up on a crime statistic? Yes, it would. If 10 million people broke into 10 million car dealerships, what would you call that? A non-crime? No one would look at it and go, well, that's weird. So now all of a sudden it's not counted as a crime unless an actual car gets stolen or maybe a catalytic converter. So you have to commit 2 crimes for it to actually be of value, or at least a statistic worth mentioning. Makes no sense. Let's get our first check into traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark. Hello. How are you? He's almost there.
I'm almost here.
There he is. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Reese, I'm good. How are you? Good afternoon. If you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound side of I-91, you're looking...
Got a little scared.
4 down to 32A and B. Again, a little slow down by exit 28. Northbound 91 moving well. Cromwell through downtown up in Windsor. Westbound 84 tied up in East Hartford approaching the Bulkley Bridge to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound, some slow traffic. 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 291 through 84 okay. East of the river. 2 westbound's a little slow as you merge to the 84 west. 9 northbound, slow traffic. Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. 84 westbound, you've got delays from 26 up to exit 25 in Waterbury. If you're on the eastbound side of 84, Newtown slowing by 11. Southbound Parkway, just losing some speed getting by exit 60 in Hamden. 95 South New Haven slowing down by exit 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
WTIC weather.
For the rest of today, we'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine, the high of 59. Then tonight, a brief shower or 2 this evening. Otherwise, it'll be cloudy with the low down to 52. A warmer day for Wednesday with a mix of clouds and sunshine. The high making a big jump up to 75 with a nice breeze out of the south-southwest. Then Thursday for Halloween, it'll be sunny to partly cloudy, breezy and warm. The high of 79. The southwest winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour throughout the day. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC
I know
Weather
Mike
Center.
left
Get a
in
head start to
Newington.
your day
Do we
with
still have Ken?
WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah, we got full lines again.
Before you
With Ken.
All
right.
A breakdown on the biggest news stories that Connecticut is talking about. To get started, download the Odyssey app and search for WTIC News Talk 1080. WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration.
Michael A., I think he'll be there. I gotta make that phone call tomorrow morning, by the way.
FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on
I'm putting it in my calendar
4 o'clock.
now.
Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The Newtown community is coming together to mourn the death of an assistant fire chief killed in a Monday evening crash. Newtown police say the crash occurred a little after 6 on Route 6 and Dayton Street. Toyota Tacoma struck 72-year-old Peter Blomberg of Newtown. He served as the assistant fire chief for the Botsford Fire Rescue. Blomberg was taken to Danbury Hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. The death on Monday came only hours following the funeral and burial of Wethersfield volunteer firefighter Robert Sharkovich Sr., who was killed in a UTV crash while responding to the Hawthorne brush fire along the Berlin-Meriden line last week. Just a week to go before the election, the presidential candidates are making their final appeals. Former President Trump touched on the southern border from Mar-a-Lago.
Not one call in almost 4 years was made to Border Patrol like we doing? I used to call all the time. I'd say, how we doing, fellas? How's it going? Is it going well?
More from correspondent Manuel Bojorquez.
He really hit on the old familiar themes of his campaign, on the economy, saying, of course, that he believes he would be a much better person to be in charge of the economy. But he talked about immigration being the single most important issue.
Now, Democratic vice presidential nominee Tim Walz was in Savannah today saying Trump's proposed tariffs would hurt the U.S. economy.
He thinks if he's going to do his tails tax, which he wants to tell you are tariffs, and China's going to pay for them, China's not paying for them. You're paying for them. $4,000 a year.
Vice President Harris delivers an address from the mall in Washington tonight to essentially make her final case before the election. McDonald's now faces a class action suit over the E. coli outbreak linked to onions in its quarter pounders. Here's correspondent Allison Keyes.
Two plaintiffs filed a complaint in a Chicago federal court saying they have had many symptoms associated with E. coli infection after buying quarter pounders this month. The lawsuit seeks damages for everyone in the U.S. who bought the burgers. A 15-year-old Colorado girl who ate 3 of them is hospitalized with complications from severe E. coli food poisoning.
75 people were sickened and 1 died. Israel has banned the UN relief agency that's been helping Palestinians in Gaza. Allison Keyes has that.
The U.S. ambassador to the UN says Israel must allow food, medicine, and other supplies into all of Gaza, adding that the workers distributing it must be protected. She says Israel's words must be matched by action on the ground, and this must change immediately.
At long last, the Route 884 interchange rehabilitation project in Waterbury set for completion on Thursday. The so-called Mixmaster is a $223 million project, nearly 3 miles in scope, that the State Department of Transportation says restored the highway's structural integrity for the time being, along with its extending its lifespan. Officials say 21 spans and on the southbound side, 36 northbound involved. Girders, columns, and beams to address fatigue and corrosion were also strengthened, along with deck patching and steel repairs. The DOC says the project extends the Mixmaster's lifespan an additional 25 years. Halloween is Thursday, and AAA is out with its reminder to drivers to be extra aware during trick-or-treat time. Greater Hartford AAA's Tracy Noble says motorists should scan the streets and residential roadways for children and accompanying adults. And she has this advice for pedestrians out celebrating.
To look twice before crossing the street and never to cross in between parked vehicles. We also want them to be visible to oncoming drivers.
And Noble says this is especially important with the increase in pedestrian versus motor vehicle crashes in recent years. Over 1,200 such crashes last year resulted in 51 deaths in Connecticut. Closing Bell Report sponsored by Bouvier Insurance. Dow down 154 points. NASDAQ up 145. S&P up 9 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Always looking and feeling their best in high-performance technical workwear. Cintas can make it happen. They have garments for almost every job imaginable. And with the Cintas Workwear program, you get freshly laundered garments delivered every week for everyone on your team. Great garments without the bother of laundry. That's a real perk for employees. Find out how Cintas can boost team image and morale. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching...
You
can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It's Reese on the Radio. It is time for what I call the stupidest thing I read today.
This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Do I look that stupid? Yes, you do.
The stupidest thing I read today, folks, is about Tampon Tim. Tampon Tim spent millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars on a lot of initiatives while he was governor. But you have to read this article in the Washington Free Beacon so you can find out why he spent a crapload of money on booty bumps. Again, booty bumps. If you don't know what those are, go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's ReeseOnTheRadio.com, REESE on the radio.com. Another stupid thing that I read today was my chat room and somebody named Tim and it's inside of it. This, again, Michael W., who had to go, he couldn't stay, but this is what he wanted to say to me. He says, sorry I couldn't stay on the line, but I'm 40, more conservative than not. I believe that we deserve better than Trump. I'm also disappointed that you made the blanket statement how you don't care what anyone on the left has to say. They have to go. That kind of you're either with me or against me rhetoric is un-American. It's the United States, not the states of people who already think like I do. And I reinforce my beliefs. You got to be better than that, Reese. You want me to be better? Fine. Tell the left to be better first. You said it's either my way or I have this my way or the highway approach. Well, ask any leftists about, I don't know, climate change. Are there any compromises there, or is it their way or the highway? Better yet, big conversation during the election, abortion. Is there any wiggle room on that one? Maybe 15, 16 weeks? Huh? Does anybody on the left have any compromise? Is it their way or the highway? Huh? Anytime, even up into the date of birth? Please, dude, spare me with this nonsense about what is and what isn't American. You sound like Barack Obama. We're just not that way. It's just not the way we are. Please spare me. Okay? It's un-American. Woo! That one scares me. Trust me, buddy, I got more patriotism in my pinky than most people do in their entire bodies. And we're talking some people who have over 350 pounds worth of weight. Now we get another check of the BPS traffic with Mark Christopher. Hey, Mark.
I'm 250, so I'm not quite at 350 yet. But I'm getting there.
That wasn't it you. That wasn't it you.
Well, Reese, good afternoon. If you're heading into downtown Hartford right now, we've got delays southbound 91 from exit 34 down to 32A and B, and again down by exit 28. Northbound 91 moves well Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84, you're tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound, some slow traffic, 46 into the tunnel. 291 through 84, okay, east of the river. 2 eastbound moving well Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. Now, if you're on the westbound side of 84, look out for an accident in Waterbury on the westbound side of I-84. And we're picking up delays now as you approach exit 26 in
tampons are associated with
homosexuality. So look out for some heavy delays there. If you are traveling toward New Haven right now on the southbound side of 91, that looks good. If you're traveling on the southbound side of 95, a little tight between exit 46 and 44. Southbound Parkway delays 61 down to 60 in Hamden. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
As we head through tonight, there'll be a brief shower or two this evening. Otherwise, cloudy and mild with the low down to 52. A warmer day Wednesday with clouds and sun, the high of 75. Sunny to partly cloudy, breezy, and warm on Thursday for Halloween. Unusually warm for trick-or-treating, the high of 79, but southwest winds 10 to 20 miles an hour. Remaining warm, cloudy in the morning on Friday. A brief shower or two, then becoming breezy with a mix of clouds and sun for the afternoon. The high 75, the west winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour, then sunny to partly cloudy, notably cooler on Saturday, less windy though, the high of 56, mostly sunny, cool on Sunday, the high of 59. Right now, Danbury 57, Bridgeport 61, it's 55 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Trick or treat. Halloween is around the corner. Let's not use wishful thinking when it comes to safety. Beware and take care. Don't drink and drive. From your spooky friends at Odyssey and Carter Mario Injury Lawyers.
As the year changes, your year-end benefits expire, changing to a new year set of benefits. So now's your opportunity to finish getting your money's worth with your benefits. If you haven't completed all your teeth cleanings, now is the time for that last cleaning of the year. Get the most from your benefits at Columbia Dental, where you can count on 1 day, same day, 7 days a week, quality dental care. Because your dental help shouldn't have to wait till Monday morning. Visit ColumbiaDental.com.
Feel like it. By
Thanks, sir.
Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
I love this song. I love nachos.
Loving everything? You might be buzzed.
You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzz warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-837-5050. That's 800-837-5050. 800-837-5050.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
I always forget to mention ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com. So you can check out the show. You can watch me live as well as go into the chat room, which is on Rumble, Facebook, and X, where you can comment where everyone is right now. And I'm getting comments. I want to make something abundantly clear. Please, I'm no sucker. Hear me out. This is not rah-rah talk, as they say in the hood. You know, I'm not trying to be tough guy or anything like that, but I will not be bullied into the stupidity. So let me help some people, okay? There is no such thing in my vocabulary as the term homophobic. That means fear of homosexuals. I do not fear them. So I can never be homophobic, right? Phobic means phobia, fear of. I'm not fearful of homosexuals. And what I call Tim Walz, I'm going to call him. Put an H on your chest and handle that. Using terms like homophobic or that's sexist. I'm not intimidated by that. That you can use that on other people who are fearful. You can use it on, you're a sexist. And they go, well, I don't want to be sexist. I already know who I am. Okay? It's like someone talking on TV, you're ugly. I find myself quite attractive. I am not bullied by people's stupid comments. That works online. That cyberbullying, that little, keyboard gangster stuff, that doesn't affect me. I'm not intimidated, so stop. Don't waste the ink. Don't waste your little fingers on the keyboard. Don't bug me with that. Okay? It's ineffective. Just so you know. Un-American. Homophobic. Stop it. Okay? I run complete counter to that with a bulldozer. Okay? Not interested. That language is dangerous. Sounds like me. Back to the phones we go. 860-522-WTIC. Ken is in Meriden. Thanks for holding, Ken.
Wow. How you doing, Reese?
I'm good, sir.
Just just a little thing here. 46 minutes on hold there, waiting. But
I know. That's why I said I'm sorry. Thank you for holding.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Just wanted to mention I totally agree with the about what you said about they're coming across illegal.
Yeah,
it's 100%, because if you think about it, I don't care what Leibowitz says. You can spin it any way you want. Look at what the FBI did with their statistics on crime for 2023. They came out with, crime is down, and quietly a couple of days later they revised it to say no, it's up.
Exactly.
But it wasn't published, in the news or anything. The mainstream media never picked it up to say it. So it's like, you can say all you want about illegals not committing as much crime. That's a crock.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't even talk about the unreported crime, because remember, what's the one thing that they say about sanctuary cities? They want to create sanctuary cities so that illegals will be able to talk to police without endangering their status as illegals in the country. So again, those places that don't have sanctuary, those people don't report crimes that are against them, that are committed by illegals. So there's no way to gauge this.
Exactly. And the last thing I wanted to say was, if we're going to deport illegals, and I'm probably going to get bashed on this one, but anchor babies need to go with them.
You know what? Again, that's almost like committing, you're right. It's a secondary crime. It's like coming into the country to have a baby, in essence, and that's the term. The whole purpose of the anchor baby thing is to avoid deportation. You're 100% right. And again, it's not about the fact that people are going to give you crap about it, is that they've been conditioned to think that sentiment is evil, and it's not. If somebody's gaming the system, and it's funny, when it's other people gaming the system, right? If it's rich, if it's wealthy people and they game the system, they want to hang those individuals. But if you point out something that's clearly being done in a corrupt way, if it's not against the pre-chosen, pre-selected groups that are supposed to be protected in this country, it's something complete. I mean, it's like they twist their head. It's like they turn themselves into a pretzel. It's ridiculous.
And like you said earlier, go to any one of these different countries. Go to Europe and try to get into any one of the countries in Europe illegally and stay there illegally. Good luck with that.
Exactly.
We have the most relaxed border policy anywhere in the world, but yet the left thinks that oh my God, we're deporting people. Oh my God. Try going to Mexico.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Try going to Mexico. Imagine what you have to do. You're Guatemalan coming through Mexico. Their rules, and at least what you see the federales do, a lot of people don't report it, but I've seen plenty of documentaries about it. What the federales do to people who cross through Mexico, who come from the triangle countries that come through there, the federales treat those people like cattle. Like cattle.
I know. Yep.
So I know these people don't know anything they're talking about, but thank you, buddy. Thank you so much for holding, man. I really appreciate that. Let's go to Aaron in Goshen. How you doing, Aaron?
I was just saying, Reese. Real quick, I have a stone to grind about the holiday Halloween. Probably my least favorite of all these.
Really?
Made-up holidays. Yeah, no, it's sick. Okay, and first off, it's a satanic, dirty, nasty holiday. We're worshiping serial killers, murderers, the dead, vampires. I mean, perverse, disgusting, sick things that everybody wants to dress up as. I want to dress up as Lucifer. What the hell is that? Come on, guys. And not only that, you take your kids around to strangers' houses, right?
Yep.
And you take candy from strangers.
Exactly.
Come on. Really? You spent the 364 days of the year. Don't take candy from strangers, kids. But one day of the year, you can take as much candy from as many strangers as you can find, and it's okay.
We are going to put up a sign. Look, I know this is going to be a damper, but I'm going with Aaron on this one. I said to my wife today, hey, don't forget, we have to get a sign for the door that says no candy. You have re-inspired me. My sign, I'm going to put it up tomorrow. It's going to say no begging.
Bingo. I mean, I have a real, and I hate to say it, but I mean, when I was a kid, you made a costume out of whatever you could around the house. Big deal. I have adults my age going to parties and spending thousands of dollars on freaking Halloween costumes to wear out one time, and I'm like, what is the matter with
That's
you?
right. You can't wear it next year. You can't wear it next year. It's ridiculous. It's like unless you're going to go as Louis the 14th every year in order to make up for the price you paid for that costume.
Exactly. How about you? Isn't there a better way you can spend your money? I'm just simply saying. I mean, I know I'm an old grumpy person.
Hey, no. Listen to me. You found your soulmate on this. You found your soulmate on this subject, Aaron. You have no idea. I'm your brother in arms on this one, my friend.
All right. Well, I figured I'd lighten the mood a little bit since, we should probably talk about some other stuff.
No problem. I appreciate the levity, buddy. I totally do. Thank you, sir. Let's go to John in Avon. How you doing, John?
He's gone.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Mark in Middlebury. Mark, you there? Hey, Mark. What's up, sir?
I am. I love the show. I love you. Great show. You're a great guy.
Thank you.
You're a big Trump guy. I just have something to say about Chris Murphy because he's an imbecile. It is kind of, and you can correct me because I probably am wrong, but it is kind of like, yeah, Americans do commit more crimes than illegals because there's more of us. There's 330 million Americans. There's 20, 25, 30 million illegals. So, of course, we commit more crimes. There's more of us. What do you think about that, Reese?
Correct.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. Statistically, it would be impossible for them to create the crimes in which Lebo's talking about because, again, the volume is higher. It's almost like saying criminality in this country, if we were to break it down based on races, we could say white people commit more murders than black people do. And then to break that down, we can go by ratio. We can say the percentage of each group, where we can say if we said 30% of African Americans committed this kind of crime, but only 15% of this group committed a crime, it would always be based upon the population of said group, right? Because you can literally water it down to simple things like that. We can say that it's only white male, or we can say it's only black female. We can do a lot of things to those statistics to come to the angle that helps us most. But the bottom line is this. And again, I hear this argument often. They go, well, you're talking about the crimes after they've already committed the initial one to get here. Right. Don't discount that crime because 100% of them commit crimes by coming in illegally alone. But people want to parse that because they want the other statistic to make a broader statement.
You're a great man. So one more thing.
Yes, sir.
What do you think is going to happen if Trump does win? What would the Dems do to him for 4 years? Will they try to impeach him? Will they harass him day after day after day? What do you think?
On tomorrow's show, I'm going to address the Jamie Radskin video that everyone's talking about because I know that's a very tough thing. I'm parsing this out because I need every show to be about the election but not be boring. But I've got the Jamie Raskin coming tomorrow, I promise.
Yeah. And just one more thing. I do think Harris is going to win. I think there's going to be massive voter fraud across the whole country, and then the lawsuits will start. I think it's going to be a mess,
I don't think so. It's almost a can of worms. Trust me, I want to bite, but I can't yet. I can't on that one. We'll get into that later. Thank you, Mark.
Reese, I love you, Reese. You're
Thank
a great
you.
guy, Reese.
Much appreciated, sir. Can we take Robin Meriden? Yeah, let's take Robin Meriden. How are you, Rob? Thanks for waiting.
Good. I appreciate you picking up. You got a great show as always. I'll just recommend don't listen to me with a grain of salt, but be a little less combative because sometimes the guy who speaks the less in a room is usually the one who's most intelligent.
Okay, I agree. Listen, I'm gonna go in this realm because I never mentioned this guy's name.
But even though you're right, but
I hear you.
Other things if you don't. Can I have a thing? I know you're tight for time, but here's a few other things. You know my deal with immigration and stuff.
Yes.
Blah blah blah. I have people that
No, I know. No, Rob, you've been very clear, and if you've noticed, I've been fair to your situation because again.
But the thing is, these guys. You have legitimate people from say wherever. They're legitimate from Mexico or Nicaragua, and they've been here.
Yeah, but if you look at wait, I got to stop you on one. I got to stop you on one front here, Rob. Listen to what I'm telling you.
They illegally
we know
came here.
Coyotes are collecting upwards of 7 to 10.
No doubt about it.
Hear me out. Listen, coyotes are collecting upwards of $7,000 to $10,000 per head to bring them across
They're
the
getting that
country
from
illegally.
Western Union.
Right.
They're not carrying that in their pocket.
I understand that, but
They're
that's
getting
what
a
they're
direct
getting.
deposit from Western
Rob,
Union.
they're getting paid nonetheless, right? So hear me out. They're getting paid $7,000 to $10,000. The average cost for the legal citizen to get in the country is probably a little bit more than that. But the bottom
it fluctuates from country
yes,
to
it
country.
does. That's correct. It does fluctuate. So the problem here is, right, is that there is a way clearly for them to pay to come into the country legally. They choose to pay coyotes large sums. Now, I told you, Rob, that I have a personal interest in this story because my sister-in-law came in the back of a trunk into the country. Guess how much she paid? Guess how much she paid? Her father.
I'm gonna guess probably $7,000.
$6,000. You're very close. He was on the U.S. side. He paid $6,000 for her to come in the trunk of a
That's just
car.
to get to Laredo. Then you got to go to. These people I know went from Laredo.
That's exactly where she went.
1-year-old. Yes, then from there they end up going to Queens. Not say I know you from Queens. They were there for 3 years and end up making their way here, and they made their money, and they're no longer at my place. Thank the Lord. They were very good people, but they didn't break the law. But you have legitimate people who are here, and now they see their family members. They came here maybe illegally. Who are these people? Who are they going to vote for? The ones that are legitimately here.
What I'm
they're
saying,
going to vote for Trump.
I think that first of
no.
all, let me tell you the bottom line. Overwhelmingly,
but I vote for Trump. Just so you know,
okay.
Loud and clear, I vote for Trump,
Overwhelmingly, people think that even those in the Latino community believe that you should come into the country legally. That you should always come into the country legally. We got to take a break, though. But Rob, I got to go because got a hard break here. Let me get into the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher, but we'll talk more about this when we get back. I have a whole bunch of other stuff to get into, but apparently illegal immigration, Mark, it's just one of those hot topics.
Very hot topic, no question about that. Well, thank you very much, Reese. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound side of I-91, look for some slow traffic, 33 down at 32 A and B, and again down by exit 28. If you're traveling northbound 91, you've got a good ride.
Hey, Stephanie, with all due respect, thank you for coming to the show. I appreciate that. The reason why I'm here is because I listened to Reese, is because I know exactly how to conduct my show. So for somebody who's got 20 years in this game, I'll take my advice. I appreciate you listening. I hope you enjoy the show. Okay? There's a reason why I'm here and he's the caller. So allow me to do my show and be the host of it. Okay? If you don't like it, that's fine. If you don't like the way in which I do my show, that's also fine. I respect it, but it won't change. All right? Thank you.
News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
For the rest of the afternoon, intervals of clouds and sunshine, that high of 59. Then tonight, a brief shower or two this evening. Otherwise, cloudy and cool, the low of 52. It'll be warmer Wednesday. We'll have another mix of clouds and sunshine. The high making a big jump, though, up to 75 with a light breeze out of the south-southwest. Then Thursday for Halloween, it's all treats and no tricks with sunny to partly cloudy skies. Breezy and very warm. The temperature approaching the record that was set way back in 1946. Going to fall just a little short, but nonetheless very warm with the high of 79. Friday, still warm. It'll be cloudy in the morning with a brief shower or two and breezy too with a mix of clouds and sun for the afternoon. That high 75. The west winds kicking up to 10 to 20 miles an hour. Sunny to partly cloudy. Cooler Saturday, less windy, the high of 56. Mostly sunny, still cool Sunday, the high of 59. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood.
Steph, you can't come to one show and then surmise that I'm combative. You have to be here for a little while. How about hanging out for a couple of months, maybe even a week or so, and see exactly what the show is like? And then you can talk about what I am so combative or so this or so that. You come in here one day and all of a sudden you think you've figured out the show. With all due respect, Columbo, you're going to need some time. You're gumshoe now. Okay? Hang out for a bit. Maybe you'll see exactly how we do this show.
Who died battling the Hawthorne brush fire in Berlin. Man's under arrest in Naugatuck after police say they found weapons and weapons parts.
You're welcome, Orlando.
While
Thank
answering
you.
a domestic call last night. Mark Rich, also accused of having illegal marijuana cultivation materials. He's being held on bond. State Department of Transportation says
Thank you,
the
Luna Girl.
Route 8 and
Much
84
appreciated.
rehab project in Waterbury is going to be finished as of this Thursday. $223 million project saw temporary closures on the interchange at times. Former President Trump has called his rally at Madison Square Garden last weekend an event marked by crude and racist insults as a love fest, the same term he used to reference the January 6th, 2021 riot at the U.S. Capitol. He spoke at Mar-a-Lago today before heading off to Pennsylvania to campaign. Vice President Harris delivers her closing message from the Ellipse in D.C. this evening. One-time Trump Lieutenant Steve Bannon was sprung from prison today. He did 4 months in Danbury for refusing to answer a subpoena from Congress to discuss the riot at the Capitol. And Gaza's health ministry says an Israeli strike on a 5-story building where displaced Palestinians were sheltering in the northern strip killed at least 60 people, more than half of them women and children. Wall Street, the Dow finished down 154 points today. The Nasdaq picked up 145, and the S&P was down 9, or the S&P was up 9 points. World Series Game 4, do or die for the Yankees tonight. Dodgers lead that series 3-0. Game 4 at the stadium, 8:08 first pitch. NHL Bruins home to Philly. Rangers skate in D.C., and the Isles host Anaheim. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, Tom Shattuck here, and November is Veterans Month, a time to celebrate and honor the heroes who have served our country. This November, Awaken 180 Weight Loss is showing their appreciation for active duty, veterans, and spouses.
All right, there we can agree, Stephanie. I hate the
entire
Yankees.
Awaken 180 program. Free support for life included. It's a thank you for the sacrifices you've made, protecting our freedoms and making this country what it is. This is special. Awaken 180 has never offered a discount, ever. If this incentive can help turn your focus on you, your health, your goals, and your happiness, I say go for it. Do what I did and choose the solution for weight loss. So if you're active duty, a veteran, or a spouse of one, this month is about you. Celebrate veterans with 15% off your Awaken 180 program. And as with all clients, receive free support for life after reaching your goal. Do what I did, and dozens of other radio guys I know did, who've lost a ton of weight. As a matter of fact, over 23,000 other people have done it too. Take control at awaken180weightloss.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-727-9105. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call
Allison, I didn't miss your comment in the chat room. Thank you so much for listening to me on the job.
800-727-9105.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, folks, it's Reese on the Radio, and we are almost at the 5 o'clock focus, so stick around for that. I've got plenty of stuff in the chat room that I need to get to as well. So, we'll read your comments and all that good stuff in due course, so just bear with me. Now, again, talking about this immigration thing, all right? When people start talking about, well, Reese, what you say is extreme. It's extreme. It's like all or nothing, but not extreme. This is what we're up against. This is a sitting congresswoman, Debbie Dingell. A sitting congresswoman. This is what she said about the mass deportation of illegals in this country. Instead of having a reasonable conversation about it, she went on Jake Tapper's CNN show to do this.
The Arab American community needs to be reminded and cannot forget. He wants to ban Muslims, he wants to deport Muslims, and he wants to start internment camps. And that's what we are busy talking to every voter. He's telling you what he's going to do. Believe him.
Internment camps?
Yes. He has talked internment camps. You know what, Jake? You may have to visit me in one. I get worried enough when he talks about what he's going to do to his political enemies. But he has talked about them in this with different groups of people.
Well, I've heard him talking about rounding up undocumented migrants, and obviously for that you would need some sort of camp. But what do you mean internment camps for Muslims and Arabs?
He has spoken about that in different audiences. I don't have the exact citation right here, but I'll find it for you. And he's been very clear. And I've said to the community, I'll never forget when he kept his promise that he was going to ban Muslims. Do you remember Detroit? The airport was shut down, not because there was an organized rally, but because people came from around this state, because this community was their friends and they weren't going to see something like that happen. We're so torn apart now in ways I've never seen it. That won't happen again. We've got to find ways to bring people together.
Yeah, and one way is to say that the presidential candidate is going to put people, even her, in internment camps. Yeah, I think she is crying, Craig. She sounds like she is weeping. Yes, she is. Thank you, Sam. Yeah, oh my God. That's right. That's right. This is the tactic. He's going to put people in internment camps. This is why I have to scream and holler at AF for this nonsense, because it cannot sit idly by. I may be a small voice, folks, and just on WTIC, but you know what? This show pretty much goes everywhere. So this is nonsense. I'm sick and tired of people making these excuses for people. Excuses for the behavior. I don't want imported crime, imported cheese, imported wine, but I don't want imported crime. No one asked for it. No one ever asked if it's on the menu. Okay? Let's take another check for the BPS traffic with Mark Christopher. Have we imported any traffic from overseas, Mark?
No imports right now. I think it's all domestic traffic at this point.
The kind we like.
Yes, that's right. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91 delays 33 down to 32 A and B, and again 27 to 28 northbound 91.
Need to put that on the T-shirt. Imported cheese, imported wine, not imported crime. Okay.
Is slowing about a half mile before 46th Avenue down to the Bulkley Bridge. 291, 384, okay. 2 eastbound moving well, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound, you've got delays now approaching Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. If you are heading on the westbound side of 84,
Robin, you know I can't read that. That's such a perfect quote.
72 interchange, westbound 84, moving into Waterbury tight now, just about from the 691 interchange up to between exit 25A and 23. An accident is reported there on the westbound side of 84, so look out for that. If you are traveling into Middletown, 9 northbound slowing approaching Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. Northbound Parkway delays 67 up to 68 N and E in Meriden. If you are traveling 84 eastbound in Newtown, some slow traffic getting by exit 9 and again 10 to 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway is slowing 60 into the West Rock. South 95 little tight 46 to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC. Well, a brief shower or two possible this evening, otherwise cloudy and mild overnight with the low down to 52. A warmer day Wednesday with a mix of clouds and sun, the high up to 75. Thursday for Halloween, sunny to partly cloudy, breezy and warm, the high of 79. A bit windy, though, with those southwest winds of 10 to 20 miles an hour. Remaining warm on Friday, cloudy in the morning with a brief shower or two, then becoming breezy with a mix of clouds and sun for the afternoon. At high still 75, then much cooler on Saturday in the wake of that frontal passage, sunny to partly cloudy, the high of 56. Sunday mostly sunny, pleasant but cool, the high of 59. Waterbury at 53, Bristol 56, 55 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Join us this Sunday for Tumulo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Columbia Implant Center introduces AI technology to our multi-specialty practice and digital lab. We fabricate teeth replacement with efficiency, quality, and accuracy. 1 day, same day, 7 days. Call 860-730-6020 or visit ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
Highland Park Market is a family-owned and operated local business.
We care about and are invested in the well-being of our communities. Compared to chain stores, locally owned businesses return a much larger share of our revenue back into the local economy, enriching the entire community. Highland Park Market offers great service, the best products, and the highest quality throughout our stores. We appreciate your support. Nobody does it better than Highland Park Market. Manchester, Glastonbury, Farmington, and at highlandparkmarket.com.
Paid for by government.
Oh, a minute.
To fill your vault
Thank
with
you.
Morgan Silver Bars. Grab your piece of America's silver legacy with this special offer. These spectacular shining silver bars featuring a crisp image of the iconic Morgan Silver Dollar, a legendary coin that has captivated collectors for generations. Americans treasure owning silver bars and coins, putting them away for themselves and their loved ones. Call now to secure 1-ounce silver bars minted in 99.9% pure silver and made in the USA. You'll be glad you did. Hurry, don't miss out on this special deal. Save $10 per silver bar. The more you buy, the more you save. Limit of 25 bars per customer. Call to learn more. Plus, with qualifying orders, you'll receive a free Morgan Silver Dollar. That's a $59.95 value and free shipping. Call 1-800-222.
Tim, stand by. You're going to get your answer, and you should do your homework, by the way. God, you suck at this.
1-800-222-3871.
It is your girl, Cammie. And I want you to know that when I listen to the radio, okay, I listen to Reese on the Radio.
We're back. Reese on the Radio, NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. Tim is in the chat room, I guess, because he's not calling today, but then the phone lines have been literally bleeding. Trump did do a Muslim ban. Yeah. Okay, and I just want to know, who had more Muslim countries on their ban before Donald Trump? I can't remember exactly who it was. I'm thinking. I think his middle name was Hussein. I'm almost certain of that. Right? There was a ban on Muslim countries coming into the United States, and there were more countries than that of Donald Trump. What was that guy's name? What was it? His it's a wife is it's got her name is escaping me. Goodness gracious. Yeah, was he the 44th president of the United States? I'm almost positive it was. 860-522-WTIC. Let's get back to the phones. Julie is in Boston. She's been trying to get in for a while. How you doing, Julie?
Hey.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, what do you got?
So this, I'm losing my ish here. This guy, I don't understand why these people have such a boner for the illegal immigrants. So he's literally saying he's willing to sacrifice a percentage of Americans because that's how important illegal immigration is to him. He's willing that whether it's, you say it's 2%, 5%, 10%, 10% of women can get murdered and raped. That's okay with him because it's more important that illegals are here.
Exactly.
He's willing to sacrifice that many percentage of people.
Exactly. And again, it's sort of like the necessary evil, no matter what the collateral damage is. Laken Riley just may have to exist as a dead woman just so we can have, safer immigration into the country or immigration into the country whatsoever. So those family be damned.
His wife and his daughter.
Yeah,
Give
exactly.
Up his wife and daughter to them. And let them be the sacrifice.
Exactly. No one would ever think that. But again, I told you, this is the moral high ground to which they stand on. It's always about the same thing. It's standing on the backs of people that they claim to care about while they pat themselves on theirs. They never put any skin in the game. It's always about the nonsense of feeling morally superior. Look, I care. I've got my pin on. I picked up one of the bracelets. I put a sticker on my car. They don't really care about how it affects anybody else as long as they get to say, I was on the right side of this issue, the moral and ethical one.
It's because these people are freaking morons. That's why Ancestry, DNA, and all these websites are so popular because majority of people in this country don't know their origin story. They don't know who they are. They just know they're here. They don't know how they got here. They don't know when they got here. They don't know what anybody had to do to get here. If you are an immigrant, I am second generation. My parents are first generation American. My husband's first generation American. My husband's the first person in his family to be born American, finish school, go to college. First person to do all of that. He was like a big deal for his family for him to do that. If you know what your family had to go through to get here and what they sacrificed and everything, you wouldn't think it's okay to just
skip the line. Exactly.
Drop a baby and then get on all this welfare, which our family never did. They would have been ashamed to do that.
But for some of those people, Julie, and that's another thing. For some of those families who immigrated here, right? People keep talking about, it's like, what are your people? Your people indigenous, or did you come here through Ellis Island? I was like, it's interesting. When those folks came in through Ellis Island, there was no such thing as welfare or the American safety net. Those things didn't exist.
But they were vetted.
Exactly.
At the very least, they knew they didn't have diseases. At the very least, they knew they didn't have diseases. Whether they were criminals, I'm not sure. But at least they knew they were healthy. We don't know what the hell these people did. We're getting diseases back in this country that we've had eradicated for generations.
I swear to God, I know a kid who's got rickets. No, I'm kidding. Thank you, Julie.
All right. Well, these people are just nuts. Sacrifice your own family members. If you want them to get raped and murdered. Leave me away from these people.
Exactly. Joe's in New Hampshire. How you doing, Joe?
Hello. Did you check out Montauk, the
yes.
video on Montauk?
Yes. In fact, you know what? It's already queued up. I actually have it. It's kind of a crude documentary, but I have it queued up, and I'm going to watch it.
It's riveting. It's deep. If you really pay attention, it's a very serious matter.
You know where I found it? I found it on Amazon Prime, and I can actually watch it. It's like I can stream it.
Yeah, I got it on YouTube off my regular computer.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know it was there because I searched for it, and that was the first place it popped up. So I'm going to check it out. Let me move on. I got to grab another call. Pardon me, real quick. All right, I promise. Mike is in Florida because he's been on for a while, and he's been trying to get in for the longest. This is, of course, White Mike. How you doing, White Mike? I know this is one of you and I is our favorite topic to complain about.
Hey, man. Well, so first of all, I got to kind of correct you on something you said earlier in the show.
What's
about
that?
Crime statistics and race.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I was speaking, how was I saying? I was speaking in a sort of general way about how those statistics break down.
Well, to be specific, the FBI says that 51% of homicides in America are committed by black people.
That's correct.
Every year.
Right. And no, I wasn't being right. I was being very general, not specific, but you're 100% right.
But it also gets better because there is no Hispanic category in the FBI UCR. There's other things like Native American and Pacific Islander,
right?
But they lump Hispanics in with white people. So actually,
don't they do non-white?
No, the FBI just has white, black, and then Pacific Islander, Native American, and Asian. There's no Hispanic category FBI UCR.
I need to check that now.
That the white statistics are actually white and Hispanic, which means that white people aren't committing these murders very often. But anyway, this guy who, like Julie says, has the boner for the illegal aliens, like what is the benefit of importing millions of peasants? These are peasants. We're not importing people.
And it's not, hold on, because everybody's going to lose their mind at that word. Because this was the argument I made last week, is that no one is ever talking about these people as if they're bringing in industrious, tech-savvy, IT workers. They're always talking about them in a sense of picking crops, cleaning hospitals. They're always doing menial work. That's what, when you say the word peasant, that's what peasants do.
Yeah, and these people are peasants, and they're dropping them off in places where there's no need for them. You don't need thousands of Haitians dropped off in small-town Ohio.
Yeah, exactly.
For what? The farms in small-town Ohio? They're not growing beans in small-town Ohio.
That's right.
So it's only white people that I hear with that guy's mindset. I never hear, Jamarcus saying, oh, yeah, we have to bring in all these decent Guatemalans. No, it's only white people.
They're the ones That's because Jamarcus is incredibly affected, and you hear that every day. You and I talked about this a long time ago. It's the reason why Chicago's up in arms. New York is up in arms because there are black communities that are seeing this, and they're being completely overrun.
only white people have this weird affinity for the out group to the expense of their own kind. Like, you don't see these liberals giving two craps about what happened to the poor people in North Carolina. They don't care.
Nope.
But let Tony Hinchcliffe say that a crappy little country like Puerto Rico is a crappy little country, and they lose their minds.
Isn't it funny?
If Puerto Rico was great, Puerto Ricans would still freaking be there. They wouldn't be in New York. They'd be in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, they're all along the I-95 corridor. Isn't it interesting that, you know what, in that same argument, George Lopez at a Kamala Harris rally called Mexicans thieves. And
well, you know why?
But wait a minute.
You know why he said that?
Oh, what do you say? Because they're stealing jobs? Is that why he said it?
No, because Mexicans steal. Duh.
Oh, that's... But you know what? No, but wait. The only reason why I'm saying that is Breonna Keller was talking to Vivek Ramaswamy yesterday about that, right? It's just her response to it was, well, it's okay because he's Mexican. I'm like, wait a minute. So now you're saying that racism only works, or a racist comment is only that if someone of a different race said something about someone else. Well, in that case, let's reincarnate Don Rickles and destroy that guy.
Well, I think Breonna Keller should take her bicycle down to 125th Street and lean it to the post and see how long before it gets stolen.
Thank you, White Mike, as usual.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. All right, I'm going to take some more. I'm going to take some more calls, but if I don't do the stuff that I'm supposed to do, right, it gets lost, and then I have to push it back a day, and then it's not worth it. Okay, so give me a second, because I am going to take. Who do I have? Fred and Mike. I promise you, I will take you guys, but hold on for me. Okay, I'll even take you during the 5 o'clock focus if I have to, but just hold on for me, because this is an important story. Puerto Ricans are United States citizens. Yeah, we know that. I don't think he said anything other than that. Please stop reaching. Jesus. I want to talk about Jeff Bezos real quick. Well, you know what? It's not important. It can wait. The Jeff Bezos thing, because I have a lot of stuff that I want to get into about that. So, you know what? In hindsight, it's probably better to just take the calls now. First, let's take Fred in Middletown. How you doing, Fred? Fred, you there? Okay, Fred's not there. Then let's go to Mike.
Hey, no, I'm there.
There you go. Hey, Fred, what's going on, sir? What's up, buddy?
I'm calling as the word for the day czar. The word for the day today is polemicist, one skilled in or given to polemics, also a partisan advocate. Now, polemics, one who controverts an opinion, doctrine, a system, an aggressive controversialist, a disputant, addicted to controversy, disputation, one skilled in, hold on, one more. Well, anyway, it's like a polemicist is someone with a big bag of words who's looking for a fight. And you had one on your hands earlier. Yeah, that's a polemicist. I have no use for that, man.
Fred, listen to me. Anytime you ever want to get in, I love every bit of you, my friend. Every bit of you. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I love it. He comes in, he's out. And it's really, really good stuff. Okay, now I have time since Mike is already gone. All right, so the Washington Post has got some crap going to it. And I've said this before, and let me just say it again. If you've heard about the Washington Post issue, and that is because Jeff Bezos has decided we're not going to endorse a presidential candidate anymore. And everyone is losing their mind behind it because, of course, they had already written a decision to support Kamala Harris. And he pulled out of it and said, no, we're not going to endorse him. Why? Because of the simple fact that he believes that the media and the Washington Post has been biased for far too long. He's had enough. He's sick of it, and he's in the business of making money. And the Washington Post has been hemorrhaging viewers for the longest. In fact, it hemorrhaged a lot after he made the decision not to endorse Kamala Harris. And to be honest with you, if I'm speaking for Jeff Bezos, he got rid of dead weight. Thank God those 200,000 subscriptions have died. Now, if you can get some fair and impartial journalists, if not, keep it with some people on the left writing at the Washington Post and some conservatives on the right working at the paper. Maybe they can do conflicting articles. But the point is to make money. And here's the beauty, Jeff Bezos. Here is the beauty. Liberals never spend money supporting anything. They don't. They only protest things. They never support it. They never put money in its pockets to keep it afloat. They would sooner watch it die because they hate capitalism. They hate the free market system. Conservatives, on the other hand, when you warm up to them and you show them that you are no longer going to be partisan, or let's say that you've decided not to be leftist, conservatives will warm you with their dollars. They will throw their dollars at you. Thank you for finally seeing the light, and they will keep you afloat. So, Jeff Bezos, I give you this, my friend. I'll give you an attaboy. If you succumb to the nonsense, we'll flip on you. But it's nice to know that someone saw the writing on the wall and they saw how much money and how many advertisers were leaving because they weren't getting any bang for their buck. But hopefully you can save that rag and turn it into the paper that it belongs to be and get rid of that stupid moniker, democracy dies in darkness. You look silly. And turn it into a paper. There's a reason why the New York Post is kicking your behind. Okay? The New York Times is next. Hopefully they'll get it together as well. I have some audio for that, but, I figured this immigration thing had lost, it got a life of its own. I had stuff on Tim Walz Tim Walz's wife that I needed to play, but I'm not going to get the chance to do it. I should just play it anyway. You know what? I'll play it before Mark gets here. Just hold off on Mark for just 1 minute. I got to play this. This is absolutely insane. If you really believe, Tim, that Tim Walz should be the vice president of the United States, I want you to get a load of his wife talking about feeding children.
If kids are hungry in school, what that does to brain and learning, you're not going to learn to read. So if you're talking about learning to read and closing gaps, then you better take away the barriers for that. If that's tampons, then that's tampons.
Oh, that's right, folks. Feeding children. If it takes tampons, it takes tampons. I've never, ever made the association, but Gwen Walz, that lunatic, has. Let's get another check of the traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. If you're heading into Hartford right now, westbound side of 84, you're tied up approaching the Bulkley Bridge in East Hartford, and you're slow right out to exit 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound, tied up about a half mile before 46th Avenue down to the Bulkley Bridge. Southbound 91 slows 33 to 32. Again, 27 to 28. If you're northbound 91, that's moving well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 290 went through 84 okay. So the river 2 eastbound moving well. Glastonbury into East Hartford. If you're traveling into Middletown 9 northbound, you've got delays approaching Harbor Park up to the Aragoni Bridge. Some more slow traffic as you move between 32 and 34 in the northbound side of Route 9. Southbound 9 a little tight by exit 23 in Berlin. Northbound right at the end of the Wilbur Cross Parkway, delays 67 up to 68 and an E in Meriden. 84 westbound is slowing, approaching 26 in Cheshire up to exit 22 in Waterbury. If you are traveling on the eastbound side of 84, some slow traffic in Newtown 10 to 11. Southbound Parkway losing speed between 60 and the West Rock Tunnel in New Haven. 95 southbound a little tight 46 to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com.
WTIC weather. For the rest of the afternoon, a mix of clouds and sunshine, that high of 59. A brief shower or two this evening, otherwise cloudy and cool with a low of 52. A warmer day Wednesday with a mix of clouds and sunshine, the high making a big jump up to 75. Now for Halloween, it's all treats and no tricks. Sunny to partly cloudy Thursday, breezy and warm, the high of 79, but that southwest wind at 10 to 20 miles an hour throughout the day. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
5 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. The community of Newtown is coming together to mourn the death of an assistant fire chief killed in a Monday evening pedestrian crash. Here's WTIC's Morgan Cunningham.
The crash happened on Route 6 Churchill Road around 6:15 Monday evening near Dayton Street. A Toyota Tacoma struck 72-year-old Peter Blumberg of Newtown, the assistant fire chief for the Botsford Fire Rescue in town. Blumberg was transported to Danbury Hospital but later died. Blumberg's death on Monday came only hours after the funeral and burial of Wethersfield volunteer firefighter Robert Charkovich Sr., who was killed in a UTV crash while responding to the Hawthorne brush fire at the Berlin-Meriden line. State Senator Tony Hwang, a Republican from the town of Fairfield, whose district also includes Newtown, says that Newtown and all of its volunteer fire stations and members are mourning the horrible loss. The driver is cooperating with investigators. Morgan Cunningham, WTIC 1080 News.
The brush fire fight continues across Connecticut. 50 fires continuing to burn to varying degrees of intensity. The Hawthorne blaze in Berlin, that's the one that's already charred about 120 to 130 acres. And crews from out of state are also involved in that fight as well. During a news conference, Governor Lamont said the state is a veritable tinderbox at this point. He and state officials imploring residents to be mindful of the conditions and to use caution. They've got another update scheduled for tomorrow. 7 days until Election Day, and former President Trump spoke to supporters at Mar-a-Lago today.
Half of Americans are saying they're broke, they have no money. 2/3 say they're living from paycheck to paycheck, and that's a record. We've never had that. To that extent, we've never, ever had that.
More from correspondent Manuel Bajorquez, who was on hand.
He did talk about the rally that happened at Madison Square Garden. He talked about it, saying that he had never been to an event so beautiful, called it a love fest, and that no one has ever had a crowd like that. But no mention of those comments made about Puerto Rico.
And Vice President Harris delivers her closing message this evening from the Ellipse at the Mall in Washington, D.C. There's a focus on lost livelihoods in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. Correspondent Jim Krasula explains.
One of the priorities in flood-ravaged northeast Tennessee is to get people back to work. It's estimated some 700 people lost jobs because of the Hurricane Helene-related flooding. Jimmy Irwin is Emergency Management Director for hard-hit Unicoi County.
Some of the railroad has been shut down, the hospital been shut down. You got the rafting business that's shut down.
The state of Tennessee is offering people part-time work, paying $25 an hour to help with storm recovery efforts. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
It's a relief for commuters west of Hartford. After 6.5 years, the rehab project on the Mixmaster Interchange in Waterbury will be complete as of Thursday. That's where Route 8 and Interstate 84 get together in a winding maze. The project included full deck replacements and major structure repairs on Route 8, plus deck patching and steel repairs on 84. Connecticut DOT construction project engineer Dave Ferraro says strengthening the deck means some truck traffic will return to the interchange.
What a lot of people don't know or realize is a lot of major trucks, big loads were going around Waterbury previously, but with the upgrades that we did to the structural steel elements, everything is good now as far as large loads coming right through Waterbury on I-84.
And the $220 million project allows another 25 years of service for the Mixmaster. Dow down 154 points today. The NASDAQ gained 145 and the S&P was up 9 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Take a moment and think of one thing you really wanted to do recently, but you didn't.
Oh, a minute.
Foot, leg, or back pain got in the way. Hi, this is Mike with the Good Feet Store. Well, you're not alone. We hear it all the time. Folks are fed up with living with pain that's keeping them from doing what they love, and they look to us at the Good Feet Store for a solution. And that's why we're here, to help get you back out there. Good Feet arch supports, which you can only get at the Good Feet Store, are designed to alleviate and even eliminate foot, knee, hip, and back pain. Plus, they provide improved balance, more comfort, and, well, just a better life. We'd like to help you turn your pain into possibilities with a free fitting at the Good Feet Store. You'll be personally fit by an arch support specialist, and you'll get to walk around and see how good feet arch supports feel. Then you can decide if they're right for you. For over 30 years, the Good Feet store has been helping people get back to doing the things they love without their feet getting in the way. Stop in today at the Good Feet store in Avon, across from Whole Foods, or visit goodfeet.com.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man.
Hey guys, 5 o'clock focus here on News Talk 1080 WTIC. I've got all this Bezos audio that I'm going to play in a little bit. Of course, you know, the election is coming up. We're 7 days away. It's important. I was talking to my wife about this. She says this all the time, and I've always got to push back. And I know that you've heard people say this yourself, but I want to hear from you. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. If your side loses, how serious are you about leaving the country? Or is that just something that people say? I got to be honest. My wife, I'm not kidding. My wife says it all the time. She goes, man, if Kamala Harris wins, we're leaving the country. And I said to her, I was like, no, we're not. We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We stay, we fight. So I almost feel like it's insane, but hear me out. What would it take? What would it take for you to pack the family up, or maybe just the missus, and move to, say, Portugal? Like, is there a limit, or are we just, is it just stuff that we say? I really, in my heart of hearts, I don't think anyone has got it in them to just get up and leave. Now, we do get these stories every year about how many Americans are denouncing their citizenship and leaving, you know, going to move someplace or going to live somewhere else. I get it. And some of those people have the means to do it. I do know there are some countries out there, at least according to TikTok, that will pay you to move into their countries. I think there's some place in Greece, some island in Greece that will give you a home and $6,000 a month for you. Something like that I saw on TikTok. I don't believe all that nonsense. But what would it take? Like, what would it really take for you to pack up and leave? And is it more than the presidential election? What would be the straw that broke the camel's back that you had to get out of Dodge? I will go first when we get back, but I want to know from you. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. Now let's get another check of the traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. But before we get there, Mark,
okay,
is there a straw? Is there a bridge you can't cross that would make you say to the wife, let's get out of here, we're moving to, Greece or whatever? Is there something, or you're just staying? Like, nothing could bring you to leave the country.
Oh, the country?
Oh, yeah.
Not the state.
Oh,
Okay,
no, not the state. The country. I know you've probably never been asked anything like that, but it's got to be something that affects the family so dire that you got to go.
Well, I would leave just to go to some tropical, beautiful. But I don't know if I can afford waterfront property on some island somewhere down in the Caribbean. So, yeah, we've probably talked about it, but the reality of that happening, not very good.
So you would stick around no matter how much it, doesn't matter about politics and none of that stuff, state law, blah, blah, blah. You would stick it out.
I would never let politics.
Yeah, exactly. I know, but some people do. They say that they will.
Oh, they're all, if so-and-so wins, I'm leaving. They never leave. It's the greatest country in the world by far.
Exactly.
Even as screwed up as it is, it's still the best place in the world to live. Just stop.
Yeah,
if you're, you know what I mean. Politics is not going to be the reason.
I know. That's why I'm bringing it up, because I hear it all the time. And right now, it's a dangerous time.
Especially the Hollywood types are, I'm leaving, and they could financially, they could leave and go wherever they want.
But they never go.
They never go. They're all talking out the side of their you-know-what. Hey, Reese, if you're heading into downtown Hartford right now, westbound side of 84, you got delays approaching the Bulkley Bridge.
Toronto, several times.
Avenue, 84 eastbound slowing about a half mile before 46th Avenue. down to the Bulkley. Southbound 91's a little tight at 32 A and B, and again 27 to 28. Northbound 91 moving well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291 384 is okay. 2 eastbound moving well into Glastonbury. 9 northbound slowing approaching Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. If you are traveling on the northbound side of the Parkway, delays Miller Avenue up to exit 68 N and E in Meriden. Heading into Waterbury right now, westbound 84 sluggish traffic.
I didn't see that, Robin.
26
That's a
in
good
Cheshire
one.
Up to 22. 84 eastbound's a little tight, getting by exit 26 in Cheshire down to the 691 interchange. 84 eastbound in Newtown slowing 10 to 11. If you are traveling southbound 95 in New Haven, a little tight 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
A brief shower or two this evening, otherwise cloudy and mild overnight with the low down to 52. Warmer for Wednesday with a mix of clouds and sun, the high 75. Sunny to partly cloudy, breezy, and very warm for our Halloween Thursday, the high of 82. But strong winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour out of the southwest throughout the day. Remaining warm, cloudy in the morning on Friday, a brief shower or two, then becoming breezy with a mix of clouds and sun for the afternoon. That high still 79, though, then sunny to partly cloudy and much cooler as we head into the weekend. Saturday, the high only 58. Sunday, mostly sunny, a pleasant day, the high of 62. Right now, it is 54 in Mansfield. It's 55 in New London, 55 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
2 items, 1 deal on McDonald's breakfast. Pair up your favorites. Any size iced coffee, sausage or chicken McGriddles, and sausage biscuit for $3.99. Price and participation may vary. Single item at regular price.
Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell and Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Men, here are some statistics about erectile dysfunction. First, half of men over age 50 have it, with even more of us affected as we get into our 60s and beyond. ED can also impact younger men, even in their 30s, which makes it one of the most pervasive conditions in medicine. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and statistics are one thing, but it's the emotional toll on relationships and the impacts on a man's confidence and self-esteem that are the true tragedies of erectile dysfunction. This is why you need to get treated for your ED, but where you get treated is just as important as getting treated, because who you trust for your health care is critical. At Northeast Men's Health, men's sexual health is our focus. Our providers are experts in treating ED, and we offer the complete range of treatment options with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means you can get your sex life back. So call us. Your first visit is just not includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com.
Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah. Oh, a minute.
But have you heard of Navien tankless
All
water
set.
heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien High Efficiency Tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything. Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV? I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different. JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax? Yes. Another round? Yes.
It's the 5 o'clock focus. It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man. The 5 o'clock focus today. What would it take for you to leave the country? Julie B. has got a great one. I'll tell you mine after I read hers. She says, we're already in the process of getting our Italian citizenship as we're allowed through our family. And if my son has to worry about being drafted to go fight in World War III, I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. I'm not going to lie. That's enough. If it were one of my, my babies, and there was a possibility of an avoidable war we were getting into, I will admit, yes, I would probably be concerned. I would be worried about where I was going. Because, again, if it's a nuclear war, if it ever comes to that, it doesn't matter. Nowhere on Earth is safe for that matter. But, yeah, I mean, it's one thing to consider. So if you guys know anything about me, there's only one reason I would ever leave the country. Roland, you got to be able to figure this out. Name the one reason why I would leave the country, Roland. It's the only thing that would ever make me do anything. You know what the word is. It starts with W.
Oh, if your wife moved there?
No. The thing that I do more than anything. What's the one thing I do? Really? You don't know?
No.
Work.
That would make you leave the country? Work? I would have never guessed that.
Work would make... Who's the person who works? You said it. What was it? Janine asked you not too long ago. He said, hey, if Reese ever needs a day off, what did you say to her? He's never taking a day off. I'm never taking the day off. I don't do it. I'm going to have to be forced by management. If you don't take the day off, we're going to dock your pay. That's what they would have to do. So work, I would leave the country for.
That is the worst.
What are you talking about? That's not the
work.
Yes, for work. If someone says there is a job here that pays this amount of money, I would leave for work. I don't think any other reason would make me go. That sounds bad to you?
That's the worst reason to leave.
Okay, so you give me something better. What would you leave? What would bring you to the brink where you would grab your daughter, your wife, and pack everything up and leave the country?
Probably just if one of them, knock on wood, got so sick and the only thing that could save them was a doctor in a different country, then I would obviously leave the country and go save them. But work? Come on, man.
All right, first of all, that's a really noble reason to leave, okay? So clearly you've got me beat on that one. But I'm not going to try to highbrow you. You've already won the contest. You might as well just get a round of applause. Might as well. You're so noble. You're all noble and thoughtful and whatnot, Wait a minute.
I'm smiling on the inside, Reese.
Mike, what'd you say?
I said I'm smiling on the
I
inside.
know you're smiling on the inside. Michael B. said that you would be, said you'd be leaving for bowling's world championship. You leave the country for that.
And that would be number 2.
That would be number 2. I'm sorry. It would be for a job. Listen, when I first started in radio, I lived in 3 different states in 2 years. Yeah. I went from New York to Connecticut to New Jersey. Now, I know it's just the tri-state area, but it's still 3 states, okay? Still counts. It counts. Let's go to the phones. 860-522-WTIC. Wayne's in Morris. How are you, Wayne?
Hey, Reese. I personally would not move.
You wouldn't leave for any reason?
No, because I can't. I'm not physically well, and I have excellent health care.
Right.
And I really can't take a chance I'd find that somewhere else.
Gotcha. So this is no matter what the circumstances here are in the country, no matter what, this is your home. You're going nowhere, and you just grin and bear it.
But there was a time in our history that people overlook because they forget about it because it was so long ago.
Yeah.
That there was a political reason for a large number of people to leave the country, and that was during Prohibition.
Oh, yeah.
When they had 13 years of no alcohol manufacture or sales, thousands of people moved out of the country.
Yeah.
And a lot of them moved to Canada, but most of them moved to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
France got the most because France had, won a great alcohol industry.
Yeah, sure.
And the other reason was it was a center of entertainment around the world.
So wait a minute. So people, wait a minute. I don't remember this part of like this story in history.
But they never came back.
But you're
And
saying that they
took the
left
money
the country due to Prohibition because they couldn't get alcohol here. They went to other countries to consume alcohol. They left for that reason?
Exactly.
Wow.
And they took their money with them. So these were mostly, rich people. They took their money with them, so the money left the country. And when the country was at a time when they could have used it,
Yeah.
And so they weren't here when the stock market crashed. All their money was in Europe where it was protected. And, they went on to live happy lives, never came back.
Wow.
I mean, because they just, 13 years that law was in place. So people just got used to living wherever they decided to go. And I think a lot of people thought, gee, if we go maybe to Canada. And at the time, Canada was, the politics of Canada was very similar to the U.S.
Yeah,
So
I
there
do know
wasn't
that.
there wasn't a whole lot of difference than like now,
Yeah.
And so people, I don't think would pick Canada today.
Yeah, no, today they wouldn't. That's insane. No, not after COVID. Absolutely not. Thank you, Wayne.
No.
Let's go to Dave in Brantford. How we doing, Dave?
Hey, Reese.
Yes, sir.
Can I sell you on a vacation guide that I've seen? I want to read a little bit. And by the way, I'd go to the Bahamas.
Okay.
I like Law and Order, free enterprise. They speak clear English, and they love Americans who show up with money. I like all of those things.
But what would be the reason you would go, Dave? What would be the reason? What would be the impetus to get you there?
The same reason our buddy Frank would go to Sicily.
Okay.
Big brother's after me. So I've got this vacation guide, free. Visit Florida, the official source for travel planning. It's the Vacation State, and it's the state has published it. And there's not a stitch of word about Disney.
Really?
The state has officially blackballed Disney. But listen to this. It's just a little bit of reading. There's a picture of DeSantis who's got a nice paragraph to welcome you.
Uh-huh.
It is my pleasure. It is my pleasure to invite you to the free state of Florida. Whether you are here because of Florida's freedom first business practices or enjoying a family vacation without arbitrary government restrictions, Florida has something for everyone. Can you imagine the Governor Lamont come to Connecticut, have an abortion, have your junk cut off?
Absolutely. There would be complete contrast between the two welcoming brochures. Dave.
And I love the idea. They got the back of their hand. There's not even the word Disney is in the Florida
That's,
vacation
you know what,
guide.
again, because it's in essence saying that Disney is not Florida and Florida is not Disney. I love that because Florida is a state in and of itself.
That's a real governor.
Damn right. Love it.
Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Hey, Lori. Lori's in Glastonbury. What do you got for me?
Hey, Reese, how are you?
So good. So good. So, Lori, what would
good.
You can tell me which country, but what would bring you to the brink of leaving, or would you just not go?
Okay, well, we'll pause because first I want to say, Roland, honey, how could you not know it was work? I don't understand that. And then...
That's what I'm talking about, Lori. Everybody knows it's work.
Yeah, exactly. And also, Julie is my spirit animal. I feel like she and I could need to get together and go bowling. Also... as someone who so one of my side gigs is as a journalist.
Oh, okay.
And, so I find it incredibly refreshing that Bezos would say, you know what, let's go back to what journalism used to be, how we were supposed to be unbiased. We were supposed to be, it was just the facts, man, nothing but the facts.
Did you read
And
his
getting
op-ed,
back
Lori?
that-
Lori, did you read his op-ed?
I haven't read the whole thing, no, sir.
It's really good. It's a good op-ed.
I will definitely take some time this evening between watching the Yankees lose and resting. So in terms of. So I wanted to comment on that because I find it incredibly refreshing.
Yeah, me too.
One other thought, and then I'll answer your question if I can.
Sure.
So in terms of the undocumented, I don't understand people who don't want us to have a border, and why is it unconstitutional to have immigration laws? I don't understand.
Nor do I.
Because one of the gentlemen said that it was unconstitutional, and so I'm just going to pray for him and pray that God opens his eyes and changes his heart. And so. So your last question, you know what? My dream retirement plan what is to get a TOEFL certificate and go to Italy and teach English in Italy as part of the retirement plan. That's what I would love to do because I'm Napolitano by descent.
So your reason for leaving would be retirement, which is good because, again, you don't need a presidential election or World War III as a reason to leave the country. Retirement's a great reason. retirement's a great
You know
reason to
why?
then do service work in helping people learn English.
Right, but you know why I wouldn't leave? Because no matter what happens, Jesus is still on his throne and he still wins. And so I just need to hold on to that. He is my refuge and my strength, and that's it.
Totally appreciate that. And I'm not going to lie, with the exception of Roland throwing a complete haymaker at me about leaving the country to put because one of his family members were sick, because that was absolutely that's underhanded, Roland. Underhanded. I like your answer the best, Lori. But Roland, I can't deny, even though it was done in a very underhanded, evil way, his is still pretty good. It's still pretty good. I can't beat it because I can't crap on it because it's about someone being sick. And I want to hate on it, Roland. I just want to let you know that. I'm trying to find a way. I'm going to wiggle my way into hating on that answer, but it's too good. Thank you, Lori, as always. I appreciate you. George is in St. Louis before we take a break. How you doing, George?
Hi, Reese. I'll tell you when you should move.
Okay.
When you hear about a nuclear accident, like from a nuclear power plant,
Yeah.
like 3 Mile Island or Chernobyl,
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere east of the power plant, you should leave.
Go
Don't
east
wait-
of the power
don't
plant.
Don't wait for the news media to tell you it's not safe.
They'll treat
Get
it like
out of there
COVID.
now.
So it's like it's
Yeah.
radiation, but it's not radiation.
Yeah, it only has it only has a half-life of 700 million years. So, yeah, you're gonna don't live there, waiting for the radiation to dissipate. It's gonna kill you eventually if you don't
Indeed.
get out of there.
Indeed.
So, yeah. Oh, by the way, at Trinity, when they exploded the first bomb, there were girls swimming in the creek, and they never lived beyond age 30.
Wow.
They all came down with some form of cancer and boils and whatever.
Ate 'em
Hair
alive.
fell out. The whole atomic, the whole radiation thing.
Goodness
So
gracious.
anyway, if you hear, about any kind of a leak,
Yep.
get out of there.
Exactly.
Don't wait. Don't trust the media or the politicians.
Thank
Get
you.
out of there.
Thank you, George. I appreciate it. So if we get it right, hospital and operation, retirement, and nuclear fallout. Those are 3 reasons to leave the country. And not one of them, Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center said an election. Retirement, operation, and nuclear fallout. That's what I got so far.
Those are the 3.
Those are the 3 reasons to leave.
Those are 3 very good.
I'm not going to lie. Don't take those 3. I would stick with those. I picked work, by the way. Work would be a reason why I would move.
You would leave, yeah.
Yeah, work. Wouldn't you leave for work?
Well, you and I could maybe do
There you go.
an afternoon show on the BBC or something.
There you go. Exactly. And we can change accents. Here's Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Mark, what's
Okay,
traffic look
mate.
like in Abbey?
Oh, well, on Penny Lane, traffic is backed up on the eastbound side. If you're heading into Hartford right now, westbound 84 is slowing, approaching the Bulky Bridge in East Hartford out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound delays 44 Prospect Oakwood into 48 Capitol Avenue. Southbound 91's a little slow, Hartford 32 A and B, and again 27 down to 28 on the Hartford Weather Shield line. Seeing good ride 91 northbound Cromwell up into Windsor, 291 through 84 okay east of the river, 2 eastbound moving well Glastonbury into Marlboro, 9 northbound a little tight as you approach the Aragoni Bridge in Middletown. If you're on the westbound side of 84, see some slow traffic now. 23 up to 22 in Waterbury, 84 eastbound a little tight getting by exit 26 in Cheshire. Northbound on 91, you got some slow traffic now as you move between 15 and 16 Wallingford into Meriden. If you are traveling 84 eastbound in Danbury, slowing 3 to 5 again, delays from 10 to 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway slowing 60 into the West Rock, 95 southbound, you're tight 46 to 44.
Bushwhacker, that's a
New
great
Haven.
one.
Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather. The rest of today, we'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine, the high of 59. Then tonight, A brief shower or two this evening. Otherwise, it'll be cloudy with the low down to 52. A warmer day for Wednesday with a mix of clouds and sunshine. The high making a big jump up to 75 with a nice breeze out of the south-southwest. Then Thursday for Halloween, it'll be sunny to partly cloudy, breezy and warm. The high of 79. The southwest winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour throughout the day. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
5:30, I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. The Newtown community mourning the loss of an assistant fire chief. Police say Peter Blomberg was struck by a vehicle Monday night as he attempted to cross Route 6 en route to a fire commissioners meeting in town. He died at Danbury Hospital. The second firefighter death in a week here in Connecticut. On Monday, last Tuesday, Wethersfield firefighter Robert Sharkovich died while battling the Hawthorne brush fire in Berlin. He was laid to rest yesterday. Speaking of that fire, still about 1 of 50 that are burning statewide due to the dry conditions. They're expected to have an update on things tomorrow. Crews are coming in from out of state to lend a hand as well. State of emergency and burn bans at state parks and forests remains in effect. Naugatuck police have arrested a man after they say he responded to a 911 call Monday night. They arrived at the residence on Pearock Lane to find 42-year-old Mark Rich and another female who'd apparently been involved in a domestic dispute. While in the home, police say they found various firearms and parts. He's being held on a $500,000 bond. Vice President Harris makes the closing argument for her presidential campaign from the same site where former President Trump delivered an address just before the January 6, 2021 riot at the Capitol. Vice President will use her address from the Ellipse near the White House to pledge to Americans that she will work to improve their lives. Longtime Trump ally Steve Bannon was sprung from prison early this morning after doing 4 months for defying a subpoena in the congressional investigation into the riot. He did his time at the Federal Correctional Institution in Danbury. On Wall Street, the Dow gained the Dow was down 154 points today. The Nasdaq gained 145, and the S&P was up 9 points. World Series Game 4 tonight at the stadium. Tonight, do or die for the Yanks. They're down 3-0 to the Dodgers. NHL, the Bruins host Philly. Rangers are in Washington, and the Isles take on Anaheim. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Hi, Tom Shattuck here, and November is Veterans Month, a time to celebrate and honor the heroes who have served our country. This November, Awaken 180 Weight Loss is showing their appreciation for active duty, veterans, and spouses by offering 15% off your entire Awaken 180 program. Free support for life included. It's a thank you for the sacrifices you've made, protecting our freedoms and making this country what it is. This is special. Awaken 180 has never offered a discount, ever. If this incentive can help turn your focus on you, your health, your goals, and your happiness, I say go for it. Do what I did and choose the solution for weight loss. So if you're active duty, a veteran, or a spouse of one, this month is about you. Celebrate veterans with 15% off your Awaken 180 program. And as with all clients, receive free support for life after reaching your goal. Do what I did, and dozens of other radio guys I know did, who've lost a ton of weight. As a matter of fact, over 23,000 other people have done it too. Take control at awaken180weightloss.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It's the 5 o'clock focus. It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man. A lot of great stuff happening in the chat room. Bushwhacker said something I thought was great. He said, what would make him leave the USA? He said, if the Second Amendment was repealed and the gun confiscating followed, the tyranny and the obvious next thing, tyranny was the obvious next thing to follow. 100% right. Couldn't believe that. Wouldn't be able to even handle something like that. But I know my wife would she would jump on board immediately if that happened. Luna Girl says, my husband is first-generation Portuguese. I guess we'd go there. By the way, we came here illegally. I know you did. Yeah, I mean, like I said, work is one of those things where, for my wife, she would love it. She says it all the time. She sees these little island getaways and stuff. And I think that's the whole genesis of it, is that she sees this stuff and she says, oh, I'd love to move there. And my first response to that is, what about work? I'm not good with this. I'm hearing myself as I'm saying it, and I'm going, what is wrong with you? But that's what, every time my wife sees something like this or that, I always say, what about work? I have to go to work. We can't go there. What about work? What about the business? And I may have to get therapy now, Roland. That's my problem. It's not that I don't want to spend time with my wife. It's just that I almost feel like if I'm not working, I'm doing nothing. Who lays around? You were just on vacation, Roland. Did you do a lot of laying around? I don't think, is he even there?
Yeah.
Did you do a lot of laying around?
No, I was ripping and running the whole time.
So exactly.
As they say.
Did you feel?
But I wasn't working. I was enjoying.
Yes, I know.
Delicious food and beverages and things of that nature.
You know what I do when I go to work? Even when it's slow, I work out. Okay, I'll maybe eat a slight thing, and then I'll work out again. That's it. And then after that, I'm working. I'm gathering news, gathering stories, putting audio sound bites together. That's what I'm doing. I don't understand this vacation thing. I'm never going to get it. You
got to get out more, man.
I do get out more. In fact, after the show, I'm going to go take a walk with the wife. I'm going to exercise some more. I don't see it. I know people say it was like, see the sights. I'm like, for what? I don't need seeing stuff. Is like, oh, isn't it a beautiful cloud out? Aren't the clouds beautiful today? Yeah.
I would just say taste the food, because that's what I do.
I'm not a fan. You know what my wife says to me? She makes fun of me all the time. She goes, you see food as a use, like a utility. You don't see food. Like people talk about, it's like, oh man, we went to this restaurant and the baklava was this and that. When I go to a restaurant, they go, how was the restaurant? I was like, I lived. It was kind of expensive, but I'm not running around talking about, I had the most exquisite steak in it. I don't do it. I don't. I'll go to the nice restaurant. I'll be served well. But when I'm done with the meal, I'm done with the meal. I don't take photos of it. I don't reminisce about it. I just don't.
Oh, man, you're missing out.
I know. People say that. Maybe I'm insane. Let's get another check of the traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Are you one of those artsy fartsies where you go out on, places you have to see the scenery and you're amazed by the agriculture and sculptures of the
agriculture? I can just go down the street and
that's what I'm saying. Like, do you sightsee? Are you a sightseeing kind of guy?
Well, yes, in a way, yeah. I like.
Okay.
To see
well, I know
things,
you hike, so I guess that would be a sightseeing thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and I like to, it's fun going up to Newport, walking through the mansions and seeing how people used to live. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, but I always forget it. If you asked me to remember a trip like that, I would never remember what I saw. I don't take it in. I just don't. I don't retain that kind of stuff. I can tell you what happened in 1942, but I can't tell
Right.
you what I saw a week ago down some street.
You're a history, current events junkie. That's what you
Yeah.
do. That's your thing.
Yeah,
And
that's
there's
just my
nothing wrong
thing.
with that.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that.
Good.
All
Thank you for making me feel better about myself.
Yeah, well, you should. You should. That's everybody has their own little interests. So I'm not. Me, I'm a plain Jane eater. I'm not. I really don't
exactly.
care to go to a fancy restaurant with like really small portions of stuff that I don't even know how to
Is
say.
that
It's
pesto?
not my thing. Yeah, right. It's just not my thing. Get me some New Haven pizza, and I'll be very happy. I'm just a plain Jane eater. I love it. Love
Totally
the plain
hear it.
Jane stuff. If you're heading into Hartford right now, westbound side of 84, you're slowing approaching the Bulky Bridge out to 45 Flatbush Avenue, 84 eastbound, slowing 44 Prospect Oakwood up to 48 Capitol Avenue. Southbound 91's a little slow at 32 A and B. You'll see another bump, 27 down to 28 in Hartford. On the southbound side of 91, a little slow, 19 down to 18 in Meriden. Northbound 91 bunching up by 21 in Cromwell, the 372 interchange. 291 through 84 okay. 2 eastbound's a little slow between 5A and 5C in East Hartford. Middletown's moving well. 84 westbound in Waterbury slightly slow, 23 to 22. 84 eastbound in Cheshire slowing 25A to 26. 84 eastbound Danbury tight 3 to 5. And again, 84 eastbound slowing approaching 10 to 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway, you lose speed 60 into the West Rock, and 95 southbound delays 46 to 44 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, a brief shower or two this evening, otherwise cloudy and mild overnight, the low 52. A warmer day Wednesday with clouds and sun, the high of 75. Thursday for Halloween, sunny to partly cloudy, breezy and very warm, the high of 82 with a southwest wind, 10 to 20 miles an hour. Still quite windy on Friday and remaining warm. It'll be cloudy in the morning with a brief shower or two, then breezy with a mix of clouds and sun for the afternoon. The high still 79. The west winds 10 to 20 miles an hour Friday. Less wind and much cooler Saturday, sunny to partly cloudy, the high of 58, mostly sunny. Pleasant day on Sunday, the high of 62. Right now, Granby 57, Meriden 57, 55 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
Natural disaster every year. Fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. And with that, your most important moments recorded on VHS, camcorder tapes, and 8mm could all be gone in an instant. Cherished moments like your wedding, baby's first steps, family trips to Yellowstone. Lost. Enter Legacy Box. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box protects your irreplaceable memories from the threat of natural disaster by digitally preserving them onto thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud, so they're safe forever. Legacy Box is the safest and easiest way to preserve your past, which is why it's been trusted by over 1 million families. Send Legacy Box your home movies, photos, and film. Their team of trained professionals will do the rest right here
Is that really
in the
say
US.
grad
For a
in the
limited
car?
time, Legacy Box is offering
Oh, Brad, my bad.
incredible 50%
Okay.
off. Go to legacybox.com/value and save 50% when you
Here we go.
memories. That's legacybox.com/value.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
All right, we're back. Reese on the Radio. About to wrap it up on this Tuesday. Don't forget, tomorrow we got Whack Job Wednesday, so make sure that you are here for that. Whack Job Wednesday. Tomorrow's show, give me all your conspiracy theories about the election. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think might happen? Another edition of Whack Job Wednesday right here on Reese on the Radio. Also, this week, I'm going to try to have an author by the name of Lisa Ekman. I have to grab my phone because I got a text message today from one of my friends who's a Tea Party patriot. It's a book called Deprogramming Democrats and Uneducating the Elites by Lisa Ekman. And it's a story about how she escaped the progressive cult, she says. So I'm going to see if I can read a portion of her book. They don't have it in time for me. I'm going to see if I can get the electronic version online, see if I can get it. I'm going to try to have her on the program on Friday, if not Thursday. So one of these days. So again, the book is called Deprogramming Democrats and Uneducating the Elites by Lisa Ekman. I'm going to talk to her this week about her book. And we'll explain how she left the leftist cult, as she puts it. Also, before I get to the phone calls, does anybody remember last week after Donald Trump went to the McDonald's in Pennsylvania, and then all of a sudden, weirdly, the next day, there was an E. coli breakout or outbreak, and I told you, give it no time, someone was going to be blaming Donald Trump for it?
Did you notice a lot of people got sick after he worked at McDonald's?
Oh, yeah, they showed
I'm
the
not
E.
saying,
coli
I'm not saying he did
outbreak.
it. I'm not saying, he does that. I just
That
heard
man
it.
stuck his hands in the fries, and McDonald's had E. coli like the next day. So
Tim Walz, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Leave it to the dummies. Just leave it. And they're laughing about it. One person died, and they're laughing about it. Absolutely. There's already been a lawsuit, by the way. There's the people who have been affected by the E. coli outbreak. There's a story just came out and just said that they're suing the McDonald's. I guess the ones that are responsible, and maybe just corporate overall. 860-522-WTIC. Craig, our good friend, is in the car. What's going on, big guy?
You make me sad. I have to call you out twice in 2 weeks.
Oh, come on. What I do now?
You would move out of the country for work?
What? Listen.
You didn't even move to Connecticut for work. You work from home, for crying out loud.
Not true. See? That's not true at all. That's not true at all. And I'll talk about that another time, but you're not going to call me out on this one. This one is not fair. Again, I would move for work, and I stand by that.
Yeah. How's the weather in Farmington?
All right. You and I are not friends today. Just today.
Yes,
our friendship's
Yes,
on punishment today.
All right. So, look, the chat room's been on fire because a certain friend of ours from the radio has been in the chat room for the first time. And I want to say this. I want to offer an invitation.
Okay.
Tim, next Wednesday, come to Reese's event.
Looking forward to it.
We will shake hands. We will break bread. We will have conversations. And you will get to know what everybody's all about, and we'll get to know a little bit more about you.
Yeah. You know what? I encourage it. In fact, I endorse it.
To do that.
I endorse it. I was hoping altogether, to be honest with you, Craig, I was literally hoping that without actually asking him, that he would just take it up anyway, that he would say, hey, you know what? I get a chance to hang out with Reese, and he would just show up. But you know what? I'm glad you asked nonetheless. He said, oh, hell no.
No.
Oh, come on, dude. That's not right. You know what, Tim? You listen, don't deprive me an opportunity to hang out with you and break bread, dude. Don't do that. It's nothing personal.
I'm always looking forward to meeting other people and finding out what they're all about. That's America, man.
That's exactly what it's supposed to be about. Because again, as I said that when early on when I came here, one of the biggest problems I thought about the division in this country was there were so many people who were basing these relationships, or they're reluctant to have a relationship with people, on thinking if they don't agree with me politically, they're going to want to fight, argue, or scream and holler. And I'm like, that's no way to live. You got to give yourself a chance to at least get to know someone, to at least find out if they are the jerk you think they are, and usually you'll find out you can amicably, and in fact, what's the thing you can disagree without being disagreeable? Of course you can do that. People on the ground don't want to run around punching each other in the face and go, "You're a liberal." Nobody wants to do that.
Well, let's see how open-minded he is. I hope he's there, and I'd love to meet him.
He says he needs a bodyguard. Jesus, good. Oh, never mind.
For
Okay.
crying out loud. How can you need a bodyguard?
Exactly. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate you, big guy. My man, Commentary is in Texas. What's going on, buddy?
What up, man? Hey, I was going to tell you real quick before I get to your 5 o'clock focus. I'm with you on food, man. Like, if there was a pill that I could take that would give me all my macros, micros, proteins, and whatnot, I'd be good. I don't need to eat nothing. I need to get that for working out.
Wasn't there a sci-fi movie that was sort of like you just eat a pill and it was like a T-bone steak or whatever it was? There was some movie or some
Total Recall or something.
Yeah, it was. It was some crazy sci-fi where you just took the pill and it was whatever the meal that you like. It was like, hey, this one's like steak and eggs. So like you just take the pill. I would totally do that.
I think I remember that. But and then the other thing was, you had 2 fantastic calls earlier. The one was the woman. I think y'all said her name was Julie.
Yeah.
She was real good. And then White Mike just busting out Jamarcus, not wanting illegal. I was eating almonds and I almost spit it out. Of all he must be a Raiders fan. I don't really know.
Listen to me.
What happened?
Terry, if you were to ever meet White Mike, let me tell you something. You guys would hit it off immediately. You guys have the same, you've got the same tendencies, the same sense of humor. Mike is one of my favorite people in the world. Sometimes he's a little edgy, but he knows exactly how to bring it right to the line. I love him for that.
He don't hurt my feelings a lot. That was funny. So props to them for both of those calls. And then to answer your 5 o'clock focus, man, in the immortal words of DMX, bring it. We right here. We're not going anywhere. Is that good? That wasn't bad.
So you're never leaving.
No, everything in the country is worth fighting for, whether it be religion, Second Amendment, First Amendment, you name it, it's worth protecting. And it's just like, I used to make this analogy or metaphor. I don't know if it's any good anymore, but I'd say, the people that come over here, instead of fixing their own country, I lose a certain amount of respect for you. It's like if your neighbor has nice grass and a nice house, you don't just move into your neighbor's house and start picnicking on his grass. You figure out how to make your grass nice. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And to me, you're never going to catch me in another country waving an American flag, talking about how great America is. You're going to find me right here in the good old United States of America, protecting mine and appreciate. Even if I got rich tomorrow, I would there's a million things in this country that I would love to see, and then I'll worry about the rest of the world. But for now, man, there's nothing out there for me but protecting this right here, because our children deserve it and their children's children deserve it. And now is the time, if any ever, to stand up and do what's right, no matter what they throw at us. And I don't mean to get preachy.
No, listen to me, my friend. You were 100% right in everything that you said. I'm in total agreement with. You got to see everything in this country because there's so many things that I haven't seen. I still haven't been to the Grand Canyon, damn it. I still got to go see that thing.
And that's on my list. I'll tell you what, if I hit tomorrow, if Elon pays us our $1 million for signing the petition, or I hit the lottery, whatever the deal is, man, my perfect vacation is getting in an RV and just rolling, because these little small towns all across the world or all across the country, great places, great people. For those of y'all that are into food, y'all foodies, there's good food, but I want to see the sights, sounds, and enjoy America. You know what I mean? They can keep the Coliseum.
You got it, boss man. Thank you, sir. Let's go to Bob in Bristol. How we doing, Bob?
Hey, what's going on, Reese?
What do you got for me, sir?
All right. I don't know where to start, but I'm going to tell you, for one, I would never leave this country.
Okay.
One, I would try to teach people to stand underneath our flag, whether you wave the rainbow flag or, Black Lives Matter. We're all people. We need to stand together, and that's, I pledge allegiance to the flag. United we stand. You remember that?
Yeah, of course. So nothing would make you leave. I'm not saying just calamity, but like my reason for work. Like if somebody offered me a job in another country, the job that I really wanted, I would leave the country for that job. It doesn't have to be like.
Oh yeah, no. If the money was good and it was, you got to look at like currency values in that country.
Sure.
I totally understand. But I go on TikTok a lot and I join like the pro Harris.
Oh, okay.
And they listen to reason, but the one thing that makes them angry is when you mispronounce her first name.
Oh my God, I've never seen anything
so
like it.
I always say Kamala Harris or Carmela Harris, and they get
they
so
lose
mad, and then I just call her Harris, and they're like, no, say her first name. They get so mad.
It's like a prerequisite. Like you have to meet this level. You have to meet this bar. Pronounce her name. Do it now. Do it now. You only get two tries.
No, but they agree with a lot of stuff I say.
Right.
But, and then also, sadly, unfortunately, my mother is voting for Kamala, whatever. My mother's voting for Harris.
I can't.
Unfortunately, she died in February.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, I got to go. You're a mess, Bob. Thank you. Let me get you got it, man. Let me get Brad in the car. See if we can get these last two. He just dropped. George is in Plymouth. Our last but not least. What do you got for me, George?
Good afternoon. Thank you for taking my call. In your mind, what is the most existential threat to a woman's life, in your opinion?
Oh, wow. Existential threat to a woman's life.
I will tell you. Kamala Harris is going to have her go-away speech on the eclipse. And one of the topics she will discuss is a woman's right for abortion.
Yeah, I would say that was the fundamental threat.
I contend that an existential threat to a woman's life is breast cancer. How many people have you known, women,
many,
who have endured that?
Many. My ex-wife
met somebody. Yes, I met somebody who came to me and she says, George, I have been diagnosed with breast cancer. The first thing I said, do you believe in miracles?
Yeah.
Pray, and I will pray for you. She went through her treatments and she survived.
Yeah.
Because of prayer. Kamala should think of something that would affect a woman down the road that they have no choice in.
That's right.
They have no choice in the matter. Abortion is up to a woman.
That's right.
But down the road, they have to think about that. And we're pro-life.
Well, I will tell you this before I let you go, George. Here's the truth. Kamala Harris believes that pregnancy and cancer are one and the same. She believes that both of those things are something that happened to you. That's the reason why.
She's going to lose. I pray to God, because we need to get back to the fundamentals of this country. And we need to get along and not call each other.
Yeah, agreed. George, I got to let you go because I'm up against it. And, of course, it's the end of the show. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the Radio. You have a good night. Pleasant tomorrow. Make sure you're back here tomorrow. We got another awesome show another awesome show as always. Okay? And, of course, your phone calls at 860-522-WTIC. Now, we go to Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Good night, Mark. See you tomorrow.
Good night, Reese. We'll see you tomorrow. If you're heading into Hartford right now, westbound 84, you got delays in East Hartford.
All right, good sir.
Thank you, sir. Move for the hospital. You didn't have to outdo me like that.
Hey, you asked.
Speed limit Cromwell up in the winter.
That was fantastic. That was a good answer.
Glastonbury.
All right, I've got a promo. I've literally cut it, but I've got to cut it up into pieces, okay?
All right, cool.
And I'll send it to you now.
All
right, buddy.
Enjoy your night, man.
You too, man.
23 to 22, 84 eastbound in Danbury.
All right, that was great. Tim, I really do hope that you come. Again, you bodyguard. Todd said I'm not allowed to leave. I'm sorry about that, Todd. Anyway, you guys be great. Love you. And we'll see you tomorrow. Same bad time. Thank you guys for spending so much time with the show. I love every bit of it. And Tim, you too, man. You're rarely in the chat room, so thank you for being here.